Unity Radio and Kabomu Ye.
We don't have to borrow money from anywhere. Just toll the various sections of the road and we'll raise the money to do the roads in Ghana.
Yeni Unity Radio and Kabomu Ye.
Communication tax increasing. But your caller credit. But you also abandon tax. Tax that's abandon atom.
Oh, and you are buying 1 year, who better kakra.
Before and ra.
A buyer, 1 year, who better kakra, ye to your home better kakra, who better.
Before and no Kuma Yedi.
Woman by the empo. 1 year, who better kakra. You must send your being Ghana. A school for the was sent every square and net, woman, you might. About time the Bible coach could be we are not certain in China. A Germany. There's a tax when you say we are so. Then you call and I say, you're back. A Germany, just saw him in person of young witch. In time on Germany. So to your matter, Casabon by me and call me person, man. Women is over them. I want to say, what's our women is over than anyhow. Unity
Radio, Edikan for create ye.
NDC for in Ghana. Samia, me pe ejuma, ama ya mateni ya mabawano. Neba be chanka na mzemu. Nukura bako eni mukura kwa. Enye nukura ne, enye nukura oksa. Atua pese, ena NDC for pese.
Yeni edamuno Worcester Bontenso Obietie Unity Radio.
Honorable Chair, Majority Leader. Yes, I hear you, Mr. Speaker. Your powers have not reached that. Mr. Speaker, I agree with you. Honorable Majority Leader. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Resume your seat. I will take this on board. Don't relax it. Don't relax the rules. You don't lead Parliament. You lead the business of the House. As to the role of the Speaker, you haven't reached there yet. When you get there, you do so. A majority leader is a leader of the House. I stated it. Thank you very much. I stated it. But you are not the leader of the Speaker. At least I have a position in Ghana. Number 3. Your number 3 is not in government. No, I didn't say in government. I said in the country. That is what is your position in the country?
Unity Radio. Edikan for create ye.
Why deputy minister? What's our minister? What's our vice? Vice never president. We are the so-called president. And son, I was say yes, I'm a two swabber. As I'm a president. The one and will be already president again and be a African from a pencil. Will be to me road yet. Could be a different road yet. After the last other candidate, after what pass any money that to go. What the person I made my way, I will pay where candidate. But I didn't buy it.
Achinkwana na minum bremuni. Adishia odia hinkan kwa miyabua. Minada. Semu US nkwa dia. Eye Unity Radio. Ye tiera.
Now we should be bold to criticize what you have said. Because NDC for that was what we saw at Tonjini. I don't know what argument in your available. What? The history. NDC, why over choosing from Ashanti region to a presidential candidate and now vice presidential candidate? I didn't see a movie there. If you have more Kasa and a more argument, and a way of Northern, and a way a funky, and a way a king, and a way and crime. Rubbish. They don't have the party. Anybody who is competent that can lead the party, irrespective of where you come from, will vote for you.
Non-FM.
And this is what we have to look at the enemy. They also choose either Northern or Botelian. I don't think anyone that's over their party, the NDC party or Northerners or Botelian. na mo ko de mo ankasa na mo charge mo.
Who say man no day? Man day ankasa. Unity Radio. Yabane yaba. Ba yawa.
In less than 4 years, this government has spent more money than the MPP did in 8 years. And yet, they have little to show for it. Secondly, this government has borrowed more money than all previous governments put together did in 52 years. I ask, as all of us must ask, Sikano ewahi, Sikano ewahi, Sikano ewahi.
Unity, oh, unity, and kabum kwa.
Now, in all the figures that were mentioned as the valid road costs and all those things, you were saying if the figures were correct, and that there were inconsistencies in the figures, I want to ask you, now, in your own calculation, what were the total valid votes cast in the presidential elections on 7 December 2020? In your own calculations. My Lord, those calculations are reserved for a meeting for us to reconcile the figures, because the first respondent herself keeps changing the figures. And so it says, when you bring your, excuse me, let's look at here, help the court. You see, when you started giving evidence, you said you had all the representatives across the 275 constituencies. You said you put agents as, to use the, yes, and they were to, coordinate the figures. You said it. Then he's asking you that from that, what figure did you get? You. My Lord, I haven't brought that figure to court. Okay. Then, from your own calculations, what were the valid votes cast in favor of the petitioner? To your knowledge. My Lord, when we discovered this discrepancy, it was difficult to even know which figures are. You don't know. You just answer. You don't know. I don't have them here. Okay. Then the last one. What figures from your own calculations did a certain respondent get as the total valid votes cast in his favor? My Lord, I don't have those figures here. Thank you. That's all.
Sungovodia. Menadao. Yadigana bepiemu abrochire. Upensema ekosu efisema. Upensema ekosu Ghana. Eni onua bebia obetia ni Unity Radio. Unity Radio. Yekuramu se twe.
Nembe shambo aminchunindiso. Because Rupiam Kosam and Keselu Mutua, the Babati petrol, so who do also an petrol and a cosu. The Babati Yamaso, the Baba Yafo, was one person granting Yafo there one, and then only cake once in the year.
Sene me yami hubi amunyame misimunyame amunyame, just your boy J Stone live on Unity Radio.
Anyway, yeah, bobo se wawe obi gina TV 3 so o ka kire nipa na wo se na TV company fo no ko dwan ma ama ko ka kire nsa ban de kom ne abufuo na to ye so we na bi ka ko gina TV 3 kan se ko ma ama na ka kire nsa de kom ne abufuo na to ye na asa ko na do so ka kire nsa te kom ne abufuo so no so ba no anya de kom ne abufuo be sa to ti an kan kire na do so ba na so wan we ni ye kom ne abufuo no e de pam ma ama no en bi ne de pam.
ebehuru bebree ebehim bebree amanfoɔ bɛyɛ tonton sansan nanso menka nada wopɛ asɛnim kyerɛmu dia ɛno a ne Unity Radio.
Wala to try to.
Masha ho bono bana se ma wo so ana mo fiti wana ma ba betena.
Oh to so me ye dai. Ase ma na bo kan so te mo dia.
Ma no. Ma bia ma.
Ya bo bia ma. Also ma no bo ase ma na bo kan. Se dawi ani mo to yo to.
Yo kan ko.
Ani me ko ho.
O bo sha mo me sha ho. O mo me sha ho.
So me no tiam.
O de be tia de be mu. O de na tie ntia mo mo mama.
E mo ye mo mama. Ya mo ye ni so ti ye bo mo. Ye ni so ti ye bo mo. O ti blow.
Mam eba ne say
me ko toilet ne so bla ye toilet bia ne krom ha say ana me se me ko toilet ne so me bia na blaze su ne bia me koto pa ho no so ba kan ha wona ye adan sa toilet da bia ne me ma koto so na be ma se su ni mo toilet krom ha say ko kaka kan nyina toilet ene e fan ya wo ho yi ma ne me nyina ne toilet ba ko so me koto ya no so ba koto me nchen adan nchen na yesa e ta me ne ko sa toilet ko no
de je se me ko toilet so me so afo so de me oh eba sa me so menya dai o so me so tranchen na me so mennie na me ko tonje ono nu afu sa ade ma ba ton so me so me dai me ba so to se ba ko pe mi nyina mi nimum ho mi timi nimum sa o ko to so ba no esinchen so ko te sa brim tua so ani
nefe eduru bebe e me ma no mo hyeda e na mo hu se ma na kwa na mo koso bia na
dabi ebu ha o enza to tele to de bia e kef du bu kef na o ba ni so na to so toilet de o ntimi ni ngo ho na o se de o ko du bie
obi a toilet de wo de ye de na wa de koso na ye se toilet ne do
toilet de me ko akoni ye o ya kef toilet de ye si bia ye bu de kef ni atare ntensi ndu bu kef na o ba de sisi we
na se mo kro ma ne ha bo
e ma ne ha ye what is your toilet so si ye ba ko pe e fa ni nkwankwan ye o ba ko no ba si so no me si so what is ndi toilet de enwum nkwa de enyina enwum nya ni abom comme nous besie abana ntima besi bia ma eni manisa
Ghana voy yadin sampanam enkabomu ye anunti ubetie Unity Radio enkabomu nkoa anada ho no empanfo se enipa da sane hu donti anaboa kama di na chi kwa beso na nyansanfuo se yensempa na apese wutie dia ene Worcester bonte so ha onua yasanse Unity Radio ho ana nsem no hwegu empanfo kan wo mo sa aboa enwa wo hwe ne hu so ya ye fa no wotope no kura trodo no wa opoku jamfi wa bin adwumam wanyi aba beye otope
Asampayetia Obanyansa fuso omunuya wankana asam Tema futu sam kakre wa supreme Yo kofi Omani ya woman Omani ya mamana Vini bebi ako Wachata jaya warenyi Onson wanini pa Nasaji pa wofye oye Yama yembera ye Ebe ya ifu yaba Oma ya umano Oma ya
Yama Obibia Chin, Emma Obibia Aquaba. Ahaya Unity Radio 103.9. Say, this is a new voice, a new day. Meeting Eddie King Kalusha. With your Unity Radio Worcester, the heartbeat of Massachusetts. And on Sembe Breaker. Oh, Jimedia so. I said, I see and Debiano. Yebeka Sports Kakra. Naya can do politics. Nafi, ye phone lines, no. Eddie Amobibia. I'm just sitting in for the regular host, Noah Opoku Jamfi, alias Opo National. Alias Opo National. My name, King Kalusha. Manicho Magandi Datarito Mepeme Wasem Onamquasoba. Noah Opoku Jamfi, as so Enke Wabakaza. Ghana Fube Ebo Fuse, Otuado, Ade. England for the home squad, Abba. Japan for the home squad, Abba. Brazil for the home squad, Abba. Otuado, any Ketokreku DFE. More trading. Mufa squad, and not tetem. Another our parliament, no, and the can say parliament, Nika, but my minority, any speaker of parliament, there was a battle be over, then easy. We can, man, I the young poor, the dead, and who said, Baba, I feel, and crab to say, minister, communication minister, say. And I said, someone by a time, 30th of November, one register SIM card biano, that for you betrim. So, among for Bamasa and Omano to me, Ako and Kai Anna, I feel, Catching Masongo, so the answer about to just say, break the 8, let's see, or refer to MPP4, or say MPP4, some baby Kate now, or break me and share. And a speaker, and so and that make the battle between Mutaka any speaker no and so by or say refer motion of censure against Foriata to 8-member and ad hoc committee and also another na empete biaba parliament na omoka kan sense bebre na course so say you Foriata said the juma all dey no konkan na no na Mutaka any honorable Babwe omodo ye pa na asem no mu oshi de mu oshi pa eno nya de hu se nya be mam afei osofo no osofo Chirabosom say o bom pa say Ghana for and so ye fasting say Ghana for kwaya me for kra omom taku kapre takra tokro dem kra o bom pa say obi da ho eno ne osofo Chirabosom ensema o kanu no afei Kobi so akache among say Ken must go no almost stage say ba umia na akufado nyina no honorable ato forcing o se ba umia Ken nyina no say omu efi wona bibia tumi ekoso na afei anas sensem no galamse sensem no also enche obe premier na you know say galamse economy eno enche anas galamse country na enche ebeba enti anas be premier na yina was another year was ibium about galamse no o say enche ebeba eno sensem bebre na yede beba Unity Radio 103.9 one say weekend we enche Premier League no ebeba so the Scudetto ebeba so Premier Liga ebeba so Bundesliga ebeba so and a French League ni na ebeba so ya the first test me ma na wa team wono wa bon paya man wa paya ma team afei now we predict no predict na bibia tumi akonkan enti same way ni Sambia keka ho ene de beba o kasafidie so medi once again King Kalusha ene menya akwanya medi adwuma hu chiame mapamfo no opoku men Jamfi no opoku Jamfi ene Manucho Magandi obi na be kam sana bibia atumi akoso men you afide ni fia ma fide na ha Unity Radio 103.9
Asamparetia Obanyansapo so obunuya wanka na asam Te mafutu sam kakre wa supreme Yo kofi Omani ya woman Omani ya memana Gini baby ako Wachata jaya wareni Onsom wanini pa Asadi pa wofe oye Yama yembera ye Ebe ya efu yaba Oma ya umano Oma ya memana Hati waya nora Yami chata Yemana reja Wonso wanyini pa Sowa ya wanabe Yama yembera ye Ebe ya efu yaba Wonso wanyini pa Asadepa ofioyo Kamo ya miraye Abeya efiyana Amabeya efiyana
Omani be ya efimini o Omanu ebakoswa na efimini o Asema obeka Wajin chire Ena ebe pushi imperifo no maye esede omo ye no maye Once again, yeah, sorry, say ne program no to me am bad time na say ba no. No maybe at 2 ya kwemu. Nti na yent me starting nti mo de be chen. And I said baby enkoma Master Dancer of that auto repairs. Dr. Kabi Scientific Care. Asaman's Trading. Anochi Trading. Anochi Chrome Restaurant. Sajme Kuri Muno. And the Duano Pebia. Almost saw ya sing my baby do my fear mu. Na de enkomode ene enkomo twitwini na de bre ma film. Ti afen odo afide na to a. Please don't flip the dial. Here is Unity Radio 103.9. Don't you trust to crown my men call the 5 major leagues in Europe. Na fe me fa features no ematie na fe yen to aso na bibia ntumi enkonkan afo na yakopon ya adma na fe call Scudetto no na seria anmo Empoli versus Cremonese 245 no can see ebeba so afe na dia me no ka say Borussia Mönchengladbach and Borussia Dortmund omo be si akan no so 2:30 and the time and I call like na Olympic Lyonnais and Nice. Na no number si akan na bibia tumi akon kan. Afi o call Yankopo ya ochina no na matches ni bebre ebeba. Yanka tie for say na ochina and Sunday one of matches no and then ebe last for the both legs no because in the following week no pepe na 20th no World Cup no baso on the 20th of November. And see ochina Sunday week and World Cup no baso den internet and ochina and Sunday matches ebeba no na omoba omombo biem na say yakọ World Cup aba answer na betumi abo biem nti from next week there 20th no next week Sunday in there adaje ni poso World Cup no kwa matches no say twagua nti 1 month of mundial soccer mundial no baso den nti Unity Radio ebe mam ebe say ebe mama sure ebe make sure say the jumedie no so nyina ebe bro na bibia tumi akoso yakomo ya ma Premier League no chan early kick off be also so your citizens or the light blue part of Manchester or chan wɔn sports stadium no wɔn mmɔden na wɔn asi akan ama wɔn sports stadium the Manchester City ɔkyerɛ wɔn early kick off no wɔn hwɛ wɔn fɛfo wɔn free Brentford nti at Etihad Sports Stadium no Manchester City 7:30 anopa wɔn ne Brentford ebesi akan ne 10 o'clock no 5 matches ɛna ɛbɛba so AC Bournemouth ɛne Everton ebesi akan Liverpool will never walk alone wɔn ne Southampton wɔn nso 10 ɛna Nottingham Forest ɛne Crystal Palace wɔn nso 10 o'clock ɛna Tottenham Hotspurs ɛne Leeds United ɛno so 10 ɛna West Ham United versus regenerated Leicester City wɔn nso 10 o'clock na afei 12:30 no Newcastle versus Chelsea very impressive Newcastle wɔn ne Chelsea ebetumi esi akan ɛno 12:30 ɛna afei 2:45 no Overhampton Wanderers ɛne Arsenal the Gunners the Premier League leaders and the Oma and go for black and white. I say there, Omo Casa Mujo, I like good like I say, Muju Jamanu. Wolves over versus Arsenal and here 2:45. After course Syria now and Napoli versus Udinese. And Sanu 9 a.m. and and 12 o'clock Sampdoria and Lecce and only at 12 o'clock and 2:45 and Bologna and Susalu. Bologna and Susalu and on between Siakan after call German Bundesliga na Augsburg and Bochum and no 9:30 and Bayer Leverkusen versus Stuttgart VfB Stuttgart and also 9:30 and Hertha Berlin versus FC Cologne and also 9:30 and Hoffenheim versus Wolfsburg and also 9:30 and Werder Bremen versus RB Leipzig and also 9:30 and after ball 12:30 Schalke versus Bayern Munich and no so and they are met here for no after yanko Ligue 1 Lens and Clermont-Foot and no 11 o'clock and after Rennes and Toulouse and also 3 o'clock and then Ligue 1 your features na bia metie for no afei ye call kwasiada no Premier League 2 matches beba so and on here Brighton and Hove Albion and 9 a.m. no and I can say beba so many Aston Villa 9 a.m. shene sumain na afei born 11:39 Fulham versus Manchester United ocha kwasiada 2 matches beba so but memenda no na most of the matches no on bebo your channel most of the matches on the after you call Italian Serie A now Atlanta and Inter one of the cracking match early kickoff 6:30 Pepe Anopa 6:30 she Atlanta versus International and Inter Milan on besi akan and after you call bonon krona Monza versus Salernitana and a ball that same time upon on Krona, Roma versus Torino. Jose Mourinho, Roma versus Torino. Ombesi akan na fe Verona versus Piazza and also anopa non Kron. Na fe a ball via du menua AC Milan and Fiorentina. AC Milan versus Fiorentina and only 12 o'clock and not 12 p.m. Eviano. Na fe about 2:45 Juventus versus Lazio. All Lady of Serie A versus Lazio. The team from Rome. Lazio. Juventus versus Lazio. And I made a match here for them. And I think Oko Germany's Bundesliga na Mainz 05. And Eintracht Frankfurt. And 9:30 a.m. Mainz 05. And Atlanta Frankfurt Anopa 9:30 and afei ball Dubako Viana Freiburg and Union Berlin no besi akana bibia tumi akoso afei ukọ French League ana Paris Saint-Germain any Ozil Paris Saint-Germain any Ozil early kick-off 7 a.m. Manicho's Brest omo aso besi akan 9 a.m. Manicho's Brest 9 a.m. omo the Brest versus Toulouse Manicho's team open on Brest versus Toulouse Troyes Brest versus Troyes and 9 a.m. and 9 a.m. now so Lille versus Angers 9 a.m. now be Montpellier versus Rennes and Nantes versus ASC Ajaccio almost be say 9 a.m. Sam afei oko Nantes versus Ajaccio no be say 9 a.m. and afei 11:05 Strasbourg versus Lorient and League Ano and officers and the man afei oko Monaco versus Marseille and I know that they might hear for say Abrantia a friend no Sadio Mane we pra na nkonko wake up na nkra akwakoyan say Senegal force kianekin the ombe bia no omkwako fe with doctors krama Abrantia na abone ho mode achiapo akwakosi akan ma wake up na ombe consult with doctors and I say ombe kwa bibido so ombe fa bibido so quick pa ma Abrantia fe no Sadio Mane odi wabomodian na wakokosi akan ama boko a fan Senegal e mundial soccer mundial enka tiefo say kosi ada be na otwe na wake up no e ba so gidi emu be hye Trust Unity Radio 103.9 say akasi no e koso nyina no na ye de update mu na bibia e koso bia no na ya mo ate ego krafo from Ghana for bebre ebu ofu ye pa say countries in bebre ade omo finalist of 26 players akwa FIFA Ghana for kwa de omo say omo train up to on the 14th of this month na ma for say jiri omo person ye jiri ma na katasire bia na by din bi ede na namase say ye players bi afim na ebi munye bi munde ebi so omo de entini na ebe hwe say ebe di nkomo kakra ansa na ebe hwe so otoado ode ne final 26 man squad no ebetumi abana bibia tumi akon kan afei yemfa enkomo enketenkete embre etiefo na etiefo hu de akoso enkra akopiem say abrantie bia osi na kan ema Dortmund abrantie odi 19 years your friend Jude Bellingham e say the akopoma say Dortmund for anywhere your hand to sab abrantie team say omo person obesi akan ma no enti omo bompa say next season no abrantie be modian atra ho na we develop ne ho ye ansana obako bebia no akọ enti teams bi say Chelsea Liverpool Manchester City and Manchester United na omo nyina omo pese abrantie no betimi abesi akan amomo afi ye call Paris Saint-Germain omo say January transfer omo modian akọ Atletico Madrid abrantie bakwa na or prospect or a talented player friend Joao Felix no kukusi akama Atletico Madrid sia na so on the coach friend Diego Simeone omanya ntawanta kranti abrantie na saying coach ni feature no bebre nti Paris Saint-Germain say omako January say omako nya abrantie loan say possible say abrantie no bono modern ewo France abutumi ma bi kwa na omabomodian asan no permanently say obono modern dia ba omis omesa no permanently nanu ya na Southampton for Saki coach a friend of Henderson say ofi ono mutini aduma and the cry kwa say papa yi Southampton for many ache Wotin Town coach a friend Nathan Jones na omsombo akofa naba na cry nya ebeto Unity Radio ni say Southampton person kofa sa coach ya this omutwa ka anazo omutwa skabotin £4 million and Sanamwetumi de akwakoje coach no efi Luton Town no ababe coach omo na bibia tumi akosun Aston Villa for say e say the omo epe A-list forward January transfer window num na wetumi ababe si akan amomo na nkafo from wobɛka enche na nua na una Emery ebebe coach of Aston Villa and the car kopium say una memory say osan ko bia na coaching na Everare no abrante bako sina kan obono modi pa defend Pau Torres okwa no na waba be si akama boboko from Aston Villa another mavo bebe no say friend the villains on ba be si akan ama mo na bebe atumi akosu yin enka fofom no Roma for say on be pay attention na so on be call Barcelona na abrante bakubia o si akan mo my friend Hector Bellerin o mo ko we say o menya abrante no no be ti e be si akan ama na amo na enti no mo hwe say so non come say abrante friend Diego Dalot non come go pen by say there omo say Manchester for you should abrante ni be ntin omo ko say omo ko pen Spain say menya abrante friend Hector Bellerin no be si akan amomo on crowd for no so Barcelona for I imagine say come January on beja abrante a friend Memphis Depay na kwakusi akan boboku bia obepese obefa Memphis be Depay no na bibia atumi akọ enkan ama omo afen Newcastle for so see omo pem abrante friend Pau Torres na medical case for Aston Villa for no pen no Newcastle for so omo pa abrante na bibia atumi abankan Atletico Madrid so winger friend Janak Carasu on so Newcastle for Epeno and a Roberts France the midfielder and also a friend Nabe Faker omunano almost on Benham Ranty summer no more be see a kind amomo afi Arsenal for say man for went to Omunja almost so called Shakhtar Donetsk abrante bakwa or Ukraine I will see a kind momo a friend Mahako Modek say on also unyana enka ompe rekaya sab abrante no Juventus for ehiana ding na afin Bayern Munich almost defender about a friend Benjamin Pavard on also say one next season obe pese obenya different country bi akwakobo na different country no be na nka ba betu say Benjamin Pavard one hwe na Chelsea for and the omani akodanda abrante nechi na bibia atumi akọ nkan na afei na kwakwa no last story no Tottenham for say so omo ya say abamti am kofa no ba ya on tia kan emma no emesin royal no ne side wo no nem say no man koye nti wan hwe a omo January no akopɛ right wing back any striker na omatumi ababesi akan ama mona bibia tumi akọ nkan babejafo ababeka mensa ma machi na mo makwaba na fe yefa dwumadie no enhye so Manucho Magandi Tatarito mempem ho asem who say Master Jesus
yo
me akwaba
yeah
from to say
yeah boko say when it's good to have you in the driving seat.
Yeah,
it's a long time you got me on flights.
Yeah,
so I've not been orgasmic for some time. I've lost orgasm. So once you are now back to the driving seat, we hope to have a rollicking moving time.
Anopa, when I see the studio,
oh yes. I mean, I've been on heat for a long time, and it seems the weather is cooling down. So I've started getting the best of my weathers. So I mean, that's the little secret that I can tell you. Until Anopa minimize serious. Minimize serious. So. Little bicycle.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I heard you. Yeah, breast to lose.
Breast to lose. Troye, mum.
Troye. Okay.
Breast Troye. Manitos breast, basis Troye.
Exactly. Breast. I mean, you can't go wrong with the breast.
Yes.
If you are supporting breast, then you have a good team. Last week, when you say you know a nice breast. Nice breast.
Okay.
Yes. Nice breast in the ball last week.
You know, we have a Troye.
Team BN nice.
The camera for
Nice.
Oh, Nice. They say. Oh, look at you. Say Nice. They what fast ban even in Nice. No, I don't know. You're speaking English. You're not speaking Spanish or French. So nice breast played last week, and this week their breast. What's a Troy?
Troy, yeah.
I thought breast to lose. So, but I think what caught my attention most in most of your synopsis had to do with Sadio Mane. Senegal not grappling coming to denying the fact that they might just miss their talisman at the World Cup. So adding him to the squad and praying that it gets better. I think it might be the Achilles heel. Maybe it's kind of
but they said I catch a man fire and they say they want to consult the fetish priests and
exactly.
I mean, that African and the Hamandrono with doctors,
he needs to be careful. It might just be the distress footballing career. I mean, a footballer gets an injury, especially tendon injury there. It will take time to heal. I mean, so I'm surprised they just added him to the squad, and maybe they are believing in the witches. Okay, some time ago somebody said that if he plays for the team he'll get injured now before their last World Cup qualifier, but he defied it to go and play. But this one, I mean, it happens in football. I wish they could just come to the. What I don't understand is what the clubs they don't seem to be respecting the FIFA thing very well, because even I even felt last week should have been the end. Now Comunia 2 weeks of preparation, but as it looks now, they have just barely 10 days. Even some will be playing on the 11th. Any idea? So Manchester United will be playing on the 11th. Maybe Ghana plays Switzerland on the 17th. Idea. When the World Cup is just about starting.
Don't you also think, sir? Because it's been the first time I'm on board.
Yeah, novelty time.
The November, December. No.
Yes.
That's the time some of the team. No, I'm more like fishers. I was December, England. December, the epic.
Yeah, now most people. So I said tourist attraction. People travel to London a lot. Into a lot of money during those times. But I agree that it's a novelty and see. But the truth is that once it has happened, we should respect it and make it happen. Clubs should have at least 2 weeks of preparatory grounds. But send it to the.
Yes. Akwaba. I also say
Anopa my little stressed.
But when you yesterday,
so only Isaac Mensa Cradebia no. I go everybody can't say catch a Kalisha, so it's too serious or smiling kaka.
It's a serious man. I mean, it's a corner ambassador. Corner ambassador now more a bit dicey.
Kalu nyamiadum bibi aboko. So far we can't complain. Enama yenda Honorable Cabinet Japan for his time yesterday. It was a marathon. About 4 hours of exclusive interview. And the Tifo in Answasi. The response was massive. The listenership was great. Awesome. And unbelievable. And I think the reception accorded him not only by NPP4 but the entire community was amazing, and he was in awe. And if you say a new P, you call from Blackstone, you back to Anochikrum. Now, if you call Anochikrum, it was just extra. Because say she shared because on se Ghana ne WPI, Worcester Polytechnic, collaboration. Interchangeable studies near the exchange programs. Inti you could do Anochikrum no. Sena onsa osaberima mekana nedin Dr. Kwame Jabazi oya hene kase oya hene wo achimiri obemre fikru no. Ono oya lecture WPI. So he had bunch of students. We international students na omo ezem free omo did Anochikrum. Nti e ko shoe on almost set a long table for like na say there be the birthday wa hana. Say na WPI students they were coming for dinner. Nti na your saberima and omo lecturers Bruni baako na I think Senegalese baako. Nti coincidentally unse omo engineering students and then Honorable Kobneji and so ne manu chwe na omo the same profession, omo civil engineers. And say collaboration na America no Honorable Cabinet J Japan ni nuaba ene dasa WPI ni Ghana we na no. Okay. You see how the things in Tienra he had to address the students and also no former executive director of Ghana
Institute of Engineers
engineers. It's like the things worked out so perfectly, like
a planned way, but
because they said that planning, but it was just a coincidence. Exactly. It worked out perfectly. It's a could honor. He addressed the students and a guy be a fan of Nigeria ba.
Okay.
And a Ghana ni boy beyond also be the Krawa Mountain. Because of that international exchange program now.
Yeah, so
Dr. Bawuane or Sabari Mamu put you together. So it brings students from Ghana.
And they've been so called.
They are going to Ghana, I think, January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, January. They'll be in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
I'm call Ghana Koi project in January. I'm also about 30 or so students. Yeah, I'm call January. A 50 in. Until you coach ho. You feel not chikrum na 9 abapa ho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 9. It was over 9
It was
PM.
a day well spent. I mean, it's more like
it was a long day.
Yes, yes.
And if you are Anochi Krum, then we had to take him back to
Boston.
It was 1 hour 30 minutes drive and back. It was a marathon. But then Nash.
Yeah.
Nash. Yeah, there. He Ahmed. Nash. And we have to be grateful to him for the time he spent. And honorable, but the whole day, he's a very busy person. He does a lot of work, but he had to go into his car and open his laptop and then work from his car. A brand new inside on Yamona Basso or Yamishano, and he spent his order, and of course MPP for Omodia Yoma said yet Tenisia Bo Mabasupi because but I know say Juma 7 near Dintiana Louis Chairman Louis. No, I tight into I see because
communication PRO.
Hey, Louis in your deputy PRO.
So good that's it. And I'm saying deputy
PRO. Power lady.
Woman organizer.
Miss Me. Yeah. Honorable C and Mustafa Wasimano for the reception. Any Ghana for Omuti Omofre and Raonim said he was really marveled. Was hey Massa. Moye Juma Waho. Moye program Wahama man for free Ghana. Wow.
Yes.
On a Shokuno,
normal polo and yeah, WhatsApp.
Yeah,
normal.
A Shokuno,
politics, never come about seven so. The politics kakra na and then you know, baby, you can sing back could be. And I'm there, me fire partner, I discuss now. And
say, send come me dasi.
What's it?
That's why I say, and send corner crab because the love was massive, like you know, Wabaha, but Enra de who you know. Yekofi nyina wakasa like really
some launching campaign
wakasa I think campaign also be launching in January but unfortunately it will be in Ghana but also be team we see there also so you automatic member because also signing in the call we are the same professionals we are civil engineers and I was confront him
and you know I like him I mean yesterday I really enjoyed
and Kokushu to say ono ye program na with sports we are politics non-20. This is a controversy be bad by for once. Otna radio no every second. Every second. Osiopo, I've never listened to a politician and felt so convinced. Enra, it is you see Obeka Kwabena campaign what he will do anything he can.
But who's ready cow?
Obeka slogan no. Obeka slogan no. Semikai.
Manucho de bekai.
Nasa Manucho.
Na me mai.
Manucho ma. Fatam na mai.
Na me mai.
Osi ade a enyu no beku de. Ma de edem.
That's right.
Didi na mo mai dessert na ice cream na so. Na zima sa.
That's this school slogan be so kind.
Okay. It's school slogan. Fancy people.
It's my mentor from afar. I mean, it's my mentor. Maybe the only branch was called highways. You know, I mean, my certain regrets. I can say I couldn't have highways for 2 years, but I mean, he epitomizes everything I want to be in future. I said maybe president of Ghana.
No, I saw a great vision in him.
Yes.
I saw a determined mind in him. I saw somebody who is firm. I got a lot of confirmations to some of the suspicions we had when he was suspended.
Exactly.
Because Tama you suspended Kwabreje Japan. Nan Sembi cause say leak information man DC where you say some of us knew him. And initially no now report they say Omaji party na boso because on say no Kwabreka Sano can say oba eno hu sese ka sesika yeah the NPP DCK constituency level enko Manucho constituency the advance pem ukrom ye den Elembele constituency
yeah ona
enfa say o se sika mfi Accra enko Elembele they realize say sika no enfri Accra na enko do o se free bi handling charges
bebia no be better than
enko do no na sika no say 10,000 na akoka 3,000 so he decided say constituency bia benya the bank account enfa sika nsuma organizer enfa nsuma secretary enfa nsuma bia straight near this kind to constituency
bank no kwa
Canada constituency
exactly
nti munyina mo fa ye de
treasurer and secretary ni we na
nti sa ne ma na start no ye mu bi da na ye wo internal source no de e ho na ni ye ti say or block access to funds to Akufo-Addo ne campaign ni ade waje party na boso until later no people have to make up stories because untumi fa we ma bonte me yinadi they have to make up stories you know to kick him out but anyway I think so I don't have to speak for him Onoa Kasanra chiri ni memu and so many people got convinced as to why Kwabena deserves a shot you know I think so yeah na yabamobu say Ghana enye but you know from what I have seen and what I know say ordinary nice see from MPP headquarters or Chijano if he has the total power because of a president Manucho be say winner takes all
exactly
power ni nyina
it's in your hands
it stalls on you so nyasa to me now I think Kwabena can do a lot for the country and right now after the interview we were still doing the interview I mean meaning he was sharing ideas
yes
he's full of ideas
now only because only didn't come over 10 hours crowd
I'm telling you and Ono Ankasa marveled at some of the things his own party is doing and I so can off air chere obetna ha exactly say president Ghana for so mum peken for yata wa party MPs aye meeting so mum peken for yata ade na chinchina also make people ken for yata does it Ghana na enye nana do ni nua dia ena enye wo na do na opagya ho betena konya so you came through a party
exactly
it is a party for na MPs or more parliament hu say nipa na nhyehyɛ ne nyama yin yenyi ne so ne mfa obi mra chinchina also uma entina akira bosom say obomba esema IMF vom mais kano and I'm telling you know Enra you could infer sources are ye tete ne say IMF fund kran hwe ye sika no and hwe ya because almost Enra Kwabena ka asem bi ha say IMF no yakọ 17 times wasi say doctor what yare na the same yare wa kwa 17 yare ne nko now that's ko say sources san em do something because you can't be doing the same thing and expect different results so what I say I say IMF no say because resources be a me nya na nwumre no chese say yan hwe kra IMF no mo first scan yedai am I because agitation is na eko Ghana eko so Ghana no yes so mo monitoring na who say the public even has no confidence in the papa na odi ade na nim no so what I say anye careful kra IMF no mo do money atoso say no na Ghana savior no and Kwabena made a great point 50 billion Ghana cedis ayira auditor general report to 50 billion which is more than the $3 billion you could chase you nti on say emra nya adwuma sika yira ye hwehwe eno se ye bobosian sa aba na yira ye bo we ya yekoje abai only God knows how much go into adwuma nkasa yes ye di babe so we have a big problem and the solution lies within the leadership but yenye kalu nti I think that we should give Kwabena a shot. I wasn't convinced say Kwabena betumi a breaki but enra what I listened to say Ghana for tie enipa kasa ideas any obi oye firm and or de kasa I mean say yeah I be said no mercy so I think say I could do baby as I say yen Ghana mabuno no we
should look beyond just
I
help and
say
of your track record I mean all these things should be brought to the table and I would tell you so I mean is somebody you can't put a lot of debt on him, and
that is the point. Yeah, won't mean son a tunga say.
Yeah,
the only thing they were saying say Kwabna meaning sort arrogant.
Yeah,
arrogant because of the party, you know, or didn't I see for what he could get a call. Said they're not okay, and the show now and for the benefit of those who were not maybe in town yesterday and now be an aware because LCC. Oh, Charlie, I wanted to listen to the show, but I was at work, so I couldn't. I decided to maybe I'll do a replay on Saturday. So Saturday.
Yes,
we'll do a replay on China before Kalisha Babe the World Cup countdown, so that we can can also listen to the vision and the ambitions, any policies he wants to enroll to make Ghana work. But easy.
Yeah,
but I think
it's a long
Kwabna did agree to the fact say MPP bet to me a break 8 now. It rests on the bosom of the president now, because they have 2 more years to change things. Until Sadia, Maza, and I know Sana make us say, okay, himself this week and last week, no make us say Muhammad or Tini baby.
Yeah.
It looks like Mr. Muhammad Tini baby, because Ghanaians didn't like Muhammad. And I see was say man near Pamano massively. Certain president was defeated.
Yeah.
But Mama Efra Kunyanu sono wakotena baby o and ono te ho and MPP for akopeja no side na yede. That is the scenario now.
Yes.
MPP for na Messi Mahama onye show. MPP for na asa akopeja no de ne betena kunyaso by the leadership of Nanado.
Yeah.
Especially this second term.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, no, I better was say the free for Friday.
But yes, Friday no a freestyle. Manu to the time but we will fear bisano.
Freestyle free for all the
free for all is different.
Freestyle.
Semantics na dey
yeah, chapum. And one
freestyle Friday.
Yeah.
I think me ka sports kakra na Kwabna ka say me na the key ibia mpese discussing and then one after dey and then show na so sports Sadio Mane dey na it seems a very African interest.
Yes,
with doctors to help Sadio Mane to recover before the Mundial. Well now can was a man kakra.
You see when it comes to
you share no you say omo dey back home. Omo dey back home no mo faring kan no. So account squad no kwa can't he serve as a motivation and so on board the first game no kwa na be kakra na we are recover. On be an that serious and I say yeah because for look of this yes be obet me no better no answer na wake up. And what do you think about Sadio Mane issue?
You see, when it comes to spirituality and football, I'll be not straight to think that they don't have anything in common. I've listened to renowned priestesses and priests in the idea about even Kotoko times in the idea when as far as football is concerned. Sometimes it can't just be a coincidence. And I remember so well time Leicester winning where EPL 2015 they had these Buddhist priests who said they're from who were brought from Thailand.
Say, Papa, I want to know.
Exactly, to the dressing room, and they were doing rituals and incantations for them. Some of us felt that's now way there, but at least they managed to hold a awesome record going in there because for a long time now, Sanko Biben Winia, I mean, it was not a Leicester. I mean, in the history of Premiership, I think there would only been 2 strange ones, which would be Blackburn Rovers did in '95. No one so we were able to do it in. Leicester then in 2015. It tells you that spirituality there, for me, you can't take it absolutely out of football. But I think that yesterday we even spoke about that, how Africans, we take everything to the extreme. I mean, in principle, say, Sadio Mane and your tendon injury, the more you read about it, it's not just within a week or two, you get up and start playing football. France did a similar thing in 2002, going to the World Cup as Zidane. He had injury. They barely wanted to go and play in there. That was the time Senegal were able to defeat them eventually in that, and we allowed you more time. I mean, this same Senegal. I mean, interesting the twist of fortunes going into this one. I personally think that adding him to the team, and I'm going to say maybe due to fate in there, but I mean, this is a Mundiala. You don't go there to joke. So only become I say. technical team member and a management team member, I don't have a problem. So that I can have access to the dressing room near there. But to add him to your 26-man squad there, it's a bit far-fetched. I don't really see how they believe in that which doctors can really get him up and playing. I mean, to be the 8th wonder of the world, I mean, I will not totally run away from it. But for his own prolonged footballing career there, I believe it still has a lot of football to play in him than to accept such a challenge. That's as much as doctors, I mean, the diagnosis or prognosis has come that it's a tendon injury and you have to be out for maybe minimum 6 weeks, 8 weeks, he will still want to take a chance to go and play at the Mundial. But for the witch doctors in there, Ghana be over and over again, they don't really work. I mean, they will give us all they even take their sometimes I call them theatrics. Sometimes Kukoni ade nyoma de ba pitch one will bet on for 90 minutes. One will be ankasane ade. It all in the name of he's trying to chant or do something extraordinary for the team. They don't really work in that regard.
But on the other side, no, they are a boy for the scholar. But on more other medications, we are no. Because I say some of the players, so no pra, omoba ya yewie no omoba na bia omode amaba chichire omo
which I agree
that no na medication no apply to the engineer speed up the healing process.
You see, Africa, I mean, because they call them witch doctors and stuff, then it comes with something else. If you say herbalist or something, it settles it for us. But maybe all witch doctors are herbalists.
Ghana no yem from witch doctors. But oko Nigeria money Senegal for na omono from herbalist no witch doctors. It's just a deal no necessary.
Yeah, they add a lot of wait.
I be draw say
Ghana the nkwaso some te ahama. Most of this are conforming what time so conforming
from was Ghana na from say e be more from say do
yes in principle. But you see, my issue with that one is still a dangerous one for him, because it's more like you see, I will not discount African medicine. Most of these players, the Omoba Africa to come and get their own kind of feeling. There have been testimonies in Kofua. Say, Master, 9 to 12 of insano. I'm sure there have been people they've been told that they have to be amputated. But Moko back to Africa now, they've had their legs back. There's a takra bone specialist be on man. Say boy, it's not buna ni me de see ni aye. Me so won be that some these are things done in Africa.
If you okra na ya akoko na oma ye say kasia na be
yes, there are all these things which I can't run away from and tell you that they don't work. But in Sadio Mane's case, I mean, from what I saw and what I'm reading there, I don't think it will be very helpful. So obetie masema, it will be very helpful that at this point in time to go to the Mundial. I mean, when you're careful, that's why opinions that they want to take a chance, because one for now then it's more like a lost hope. But when they come with there, maybe between your fast media, kicking your and but they should look beyond him. I mean, there have been great players who never went to the World Cup. Typically, I mentioned Zinedine Zidane in 2002. They barely wanted him to be there. He played the final game, so it didn't go so well. He was walking in as the world best player going into set some of these tournaments. See, as far as I'm concerned, I think Senegal should look beyond him now. I mean, it's unfortunate. I ran up to this World Cup. Some teams have been very smart with it. I think partly for all the good reasons. It's only the league is playing. We mad this squad when we had the annual but answer there EFL Cup added to the team, but but Sadio Mane being there, I mean, he's been playing week in, week out, almost all the games that he's been playing, and it's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. I mean, because African teams are expected to go and do well at the World Cup. I think Senegal has been it was not
Alfonso Davies adapted for Canada.
Yes,
that particular last match.
So in principle, there, I mean, they might just add him and try Bibidrona there, but I'm not so fussy about it. From where I sit,
okay.
From where I sit in the Minyayanka, they will not really waste time really taking him to the tournament.
Okay.
Once doctors have done proper diagnosis and they see very well that Masa Ibia fun. Unless there's a chance. Don't say this and we judge probabilities. If there's a 40% chance he can get better before the end of the tournament, which about last 2 matches are fine. And now 1 match in par. But if he's 10-9 to me Haley before we need there. Take a fully fit player to the World Cup and get some decent results rather than really taking him. So I'm not so interested in this week doctors thinking that they can do a magic to take him to the World Cup by all means. I mean, it's a part of disappointment. People have not just woken up. They think they are still in a dreamland. I mean, say Sadio Mane. I mean, Africa's own Sadio Mane. So you can't. When a podium finished at the Ballon d'Or, I mean, he had a second position or so in there. I mean, the only to hold some of this enviable way, and he will not be at the Mundial near the end. It's a bit shaky, and it's a bit so sad.
I'm not saying I'm a talisman.
Yeah, and American. I mean, I've been Africa's talisman. If Africa has any hopes that they are going to win matches at the World Cup to increase their chances next time near the end, because there've been that clarion call that Africa 5 positions for Africa and play too much. I mean, Uncle Munyanka, you 5-5 and you European playoffs. If they want the team to be very competitive, I playoff will be because nature knows Italy not going to the World Cup, but Ghana corner there based on geographical locations now. So there's that agitations. Once economy balls among those, they are just about 8-9 countries, but they have 1 representation in the semi-final. They've been carrying that badge all through. Every year, Paraguay Uruguay they have some of these things working for them. But Europe, so I'm going to 14, but 2 of them will be at the semi-final bet in there. So Africa's position is under threat. That people are saying that why do you go to the World Cup? I'm going there to play, or you are taking the best 32 teams in the world. And there's always been that way because and 46 now they maybe no way near there. So I think that Africa needs to carry its best players to the tournament. Now this time around, then you can even agitate for more because you are more than 54 nations. US back 54 different nations. Into 5 no crazy if they will divide it on based on numbers in there. But you can only start making some of this huge noise if you're able to do well out of your 5, you're able to get 1 or 2 in quarters or semis. Then there will be that positive touch to the whole conversation. So personally, I will not be happy if you don't get him there. But that is how football is. I'm like we're talking about Partey the other time. That even in warm up he can get injured. So to get an equally good replacement for him in that regard. Mind you, their players are not machines. They are actually still they have their Waterloo where you sometimes where you don't expect them to fall and put on fall. So I'm particularly not happy and still not really happy. But this whole idea of trying to fast track for him to get to the World Cup proper idea. They need a relook and a rethink. It's not tenable to follow.
Yes, sir. Sadio Mane to the World Cup.
Yeah. With injury.
I totally disagree with Kalisha. Manicho. I feel he should be there. We've seen players in Europe at their prime are normally the eye of their countries, their respective countries. And now the probability say I'm recover for the tournament. Now, on the lower side, but they were sent. David Beckham, you can talk of Zidane, so many players. So can the African continent CCA now open the best player, arguably, on the continent of Africa right now. Nobody will talk of Mohamed Salah. Everybody will mention Sadio Mane. He's in such a phenomenal shape, moving from Liverpool to Bayern. And Ekwanya, Senegal Faso J Cup of Nations, it was solely on Mane. His exploits, his goals, his assists, his personality and commitment to the cause of Senegal undoubtedly make him also a statue at the man at the stadium. And so so it tells you how Ghana my player. Ask me Ghana. I think some I bet the statue Hana
statue Tabali.
Tamale a stadium na kofosi no.
Who abedi my site
I want to understand say Tamale for na yeshe and munyama na say Ghana. I want to
Ghana because
this one was done by the president of Senegal.
Why would he pay force your first Ulmai ko jan on the birthday ko jan o picture.
Okay, say Ghana there. Then we are because Ghana entire yes,
that's right.
Player to say Stephen Apia say esenke onano player to say Asamoah despite so breaking a heart ewo 2010 World Cup yenhwe bone nko ana de oye nko he did a lot of great things for the country. Ghana against USA, even at the 116th stage Manucho kai sa strike no long ball jeto no so mami so bisa me mami so me kakra na I think say Sadio Mane should be there. Manucho say he disagrees with him going to see native doctors now there. Hwe ye baby a ifri what I say ye baby ifri na abibidru na yemu no ene yesi kremoni can say batakari ama ye hu kremo papa ba ye wo omo amodi abibidro ya menim se Manucho so na bia wuti kokoni wada na wo ayibi saadi we reference odi tuja so kakra bi na odi nkuto atar so na odi atar ukrom. Oh, there are some things I nanom yeah it worked for us.
Oh yeah.
Ena obi na mu bu a champion mu nyina obi na mu bu pain na omode ai mpampro unza na omotimi de mpampro ya na omode adrachis na ebewie no na aye
kakra boom near the
scene. Until we had our own way of healing. Ansana emrofo dia no sesa be more scientific. So enti yeah players e krom bobo no ebi mutumi pra no akasa okofia yeden akoye bibidro minim yenuanom bebra amwo krom ha samu yare na senko a ebi a stroke ana bibi kra osimi kofia akoyeden akopa bibidro ai. And I think say for Senegal to add Mane, I mean the possibility my assessment who say and Senegal so believe he said omo beyond the group stage until yen take a chance of adding him na yen try say ye be more hands on deck to get him recovered for the Mundial. If Mane gets well, I think say Abeboa not only Senegal but Abeboa Africa. So for me, I totally agree with the federation say Omodino Echo, and I think says Omope native doctor Mane Calibano. They won't just go and pick fake ones na no more banner. Omutimi ko titin tesugu adiem kura say edru no more ton. What I say. So I think say it's a step in the right direction. I personally feel say Mane going it's okay. I don't have a problem because bigger teams, bigger countries are more players are now must be to me bigger names Eddie Koi. So it's not anything new. I think say no kwa enya bad.
Oh, okay. I'm saying if Mane a sports story, you know, I find out for yentism. Oh, you because no. Because
you're late.
You're late.
A team from Fanchine.
Yeah, inside your money.
Manucho so be about so weekend. Ana. Oh, say na catch him say Manucho ya dey weekend in Tibia why busy.
Oh, busy boy.
Busy boy. Okay. Na say mo aso I say we can radios.
I mean cash. Oh, David. Me bisa. Ana.
Me pacham e dey ya say bisa. Me double show me.
Hey, Rex, your man, right?
Exactly.
Oh, my uncle, you now after your bar.
No, my one reading messages. Max Billion, money at the Mamin King. Max Billion say good morning, seniors. The appearance of Sadio Mane at the World Cup alone can put fear in some opponent team, even if he doesn't play. Mami Abasi, Opogana player Ben, he deserves. Oh, some people Bobby. I think Abedi Pele deserves. Abedi, I won't say Manucho. When all us were against Ghana. Abedi left Ghana team.
Oh yeah.
So ball Abedi ball Europe. We can honor Abedi. Somebody will argue about Tony Yeboah, but in terms of national team commitment, the contributions, dear Abedi, Tony Yeboah comes not close to Abedi.
Yeah, no, Abedi was there in 82. I mean, as a young lad. I mean,
and Abedi, I feel so we can honor Abedi with a statue, and then talk of Stephen Appiah. I did mention Stephen Appiah. Stephen Appiah makes a YNG, but he's the captain who took us to the World Cup for the first time. Second time, he went to the World Cup saying 3 times, right?
Yeah,
3 times.
Yeah, I was saying.
And then the leadership was exquisite.
Anyway, I remember 2. Okay, 2006, not
2014.
14 one. 14
Brazil one. Go to 2. One thing I'm saying fast.
But yeah, careful. Like you be on mediocrity.
I'm the team no ba Uncle Bobby.
Yeah, no technical team.
Yeah.
And a player to Samoa
starting for him by Ghana.
Yeah. Oh, Manucho, share. I reaction. When him says we make a teacher ni bi no chere nkwala dey classroom. and now yeah 2 2 times. Oh, and now yeah also 2 times 1 2 times 3 2 times 2 4 6. I was starting from 2 times 1 to 2 times 1 and all the 1 share. And oh yeah, I could see on the first times I need to see 12.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, ni correct. You see 2 times 12 24. Teacher no church ade ni wie no. The whole class obi answer osoro. Say
wrong.
And obi answer I say the first one is wrong. I say okay. I did that on purpose. I wanted you to know how the world would treat you.
Exactly.
You see, I did 2 times 1 so up to 12. 11 na me try any day.
Nobody.
Most someone can hoshe.
Yeah.
But baku pena meeting. Once no na mukai. So that is how the world would treat you. Niema papa bia obeye wiase yenya den. Yenkai da. Once me can Samuel Jan World Cup o se obi tini fie o nyame kura de bo bo
Of course the brain only remembers the bad ones.
Bad ones.
The brain doesn't.
Now say no kwa na ebekai. But we have had great players on the continent of Africa. Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, Roger Milla, Rabah Maje.
Yeah.
You can go back and back and back. All these great players, even in Abedikwa, they saw a World Cup there.
Yeah.
None of them comes close to Asamoah Gyan when it comes to World Cup history. Any records? What I say?
Okay.
And for him to have done that, you know, my Yankai only the bad side. Any penalty or say a breaking heart and kwa. But if he consume he Yankai the better side. Ghana against Czech Republic. That diminutive goal he scored. Ghana against USA. Oh, as a boy, he scored so many goals that took us to even the quarterfinal of the World Cup.
Yeah.
But we are referring now.
Yeah, JD, but boy, say man, but start to the NC man. I mean, what boy, you can understand it. Start to the celebrating mediocrity.
Mami Abasi, they know what they are doing. That's why they don't want to bring the list. Ghana, Diano. Isaac Mensah say, Wolves 3, Arsenal 1. This special resource goes to Manucho and Shu, my one and only CEO of Anochikun restaurant.
Who's a Chelsea boy? You are renting down on Mutri. You cry on Mujion. All Chelsea fans and young you bought your pain.
It's my joy.
You bought a 2-bedroom house. Weekend you be sans on Chelsea team by Crown Kite money in Bobo Masna team year boy. Chelsea will win and Arsenal too.
Manucho, your team wants to fall my handle. Mamiaba.
Yeah. Say, you know my team. You don't understand. Oh. For
the moral support alone.
I know Mamiaba is a lot.
Mamiaba say for the moral support alone, he should be sent. Opo Ghana player Ben Odizevo okay. Which trophy did they win?
Exactly. I mean,
it's not only that.
Not celebrate me.
Max Gillian say, okay, I think I've read that one. Isaac Mensah say, Isaac Mensah say, Opo, please consider what Sadio Mane has done for his hometown.
Yeah.
And besides playing soccer for his nation, he deserves more than status. Oh, but so can Samoa Gyan so contribute to Ghana?
Wow. Sadio Mane is you.
But Samoa Gyan contribute to Ghana. Samoa Gyan baby a Juma Bebre.
Oh,
including
the
airline.
Job. You're talking about you can't GO. Sadio Mane a stadium na dey NGO and you dey the amount
yeah, but there are so many forms of contribution.
No, but I don't think that
as a merchant inject Sika to operate a baby jet airline.
Yeah,
that's foundation. As a foundation, you can see Okoye AstroTurf Makuma
2x3 I mean,
hey Manucho. Oh, Obi Mpewasema. Oseo Kasa no
Asamoah Gyan start you there. Is it mediocre? You be celebrating mediocrity.
Okay, Scott Safosi. Scott Safosi, good morning, fellows. Mane can't be there. There are some good herbalists that can work on his injury, but it's all about timing. Injury is part of the game.
Fibula,
It's unfortunate that certain players will not be at the World Cup, but it is what it is. Arsenal lost top 4 to Tottenham last year due to injuries to about 4 of their players. Good luck to the Black Stars. Arsenal ni kasana wa top 4 mumu ball last year. Normally did Tottenham 3 games. Normally did Tottenham 4 points.
Outstanding games.
Wasana wa be san was injury.
No, but it's part of the game.
Because Arsenal for Arsenal.
Me bomb pie ma party be na bomb pie man wo wiase.
You must say that's how
party brothers Arsenal.
That's how Marcus Sports anymore. Moment transition.
Kalu champagne no Johnny Sports.
Also no.
So what you play there?
But you must free.
It's our leaders. You remember our great grandmother? Yeah, Santua. Did she depend on World Bank? Did she depend on Abrofo? She didn't. Right? And you change. Oduman Kuma Tradion Pong, Woso, Otutu Tata, Baba Bibi Baba. You don't stand up for your rights. Democracy means if you do not criticize your condition, you understand, you're a traitor to the nation. Go see the castle. Go and see the people they got there. Dr. Kwame Naminimshi, he's there. Professor Dr. Mwasam Kwana Mishai, he's there. Dr. Professor Emeritus Kitwabiana Miredi, he's there. Nana Kuntumpo the first, he's there. Evangelist, Bishop, Asore Sikakwana Miria, they are there. They don't do nothing for you. We have no water. We have no light. Look, a small road they're building. They can't do it. From Accra to Kumasi should be a 4-lane highway. And I'll build it because I know how to build it.
Kumasi to Accra is a 4-way highways. I can build it and I can Kofi Wayo I 70 the say ya simu politics I don't know. Abeja for we dey na commander be kan sem bi ni na am dey asemba kon kan say yetumi ya ebetuma boa Ghana no say we should reduce the price of petroleum. Na reduce na ebe take it down. Ama affect bibia. Manicho asema o kan we. So president entie Kobleje na asema o kan no onye because more or less na say petroleum products no the increment of petroleum products no affect bibia. The president betie na so president etie no now we reduce the price of petroleum. Once almost I will levy be cry petroleum no so every time you almost GG. And I sign some amount to be from your petroleum okuja to money nkofo bi erezi aiba say abujina po John po mewa or is he say sky onyanya ho no kra no do so no so president betie ontie kwabra engineer kwabra je Japan no on reduce price of petroleum na so doing ebetuma aboa Ghana economy and just one year me catch my partner na okasa no this particular because that has been the battle between Ghana for minister say onye na adwuma ye no ma kosoro ni adade ne yinti say this kind of reduction so ufi say ebetumi aboa man.
I think he couldn't have said it any better. Ghana we share and that's all over the world in terms of economy the transportation plays a bigger role in it. Once I buy a krobi say US now there na etumi aboa mo no because the more you look at Walmart na say to ade wo I remember I was in Florida about 2 years ago. Ade obeton no there was a flask that I wanted to buy. That time I me call Germany ade no. Me turn Florida about $32. Me buy Walmart was saying it was just around $32 about a year on. It tells you that they've been managed, that transportation has been has been massaged that it doesn't really affect pricing so much. It affects people and shut down so near there. But Ghana no are quite different. Kalisha, you can boldly go to Techiman and buy plantain in Techiman for about 3 million. There plantain over to Techiman maybe at 30 cities. We do agbobloshi ton 300 cities. I mean, so it tells you that transportation is a major factor in a lot of economic discussions. It is if people are complaining so much or money as a government, that's the area. Touching transportation alone is touching about 50% of the problem, which I agree in those certain terms because we share fan milk they have a similar way. I've listened to portfolio managers and that's what they said, that you can't compete with them. Do you know why? Because they place a lot of premium on transportation. That's your ton yogurt 150 pesos for Accra. We do Tamale 150 pesos because they have their own cars and they try to transport it there at the same cost. Although maybe from factory or a set of manufacturing why do a back cry is just a short distance. So travel to Sunyania, it's a far distance, but transportation has been made that it becomes zero effect in the whole business, and it is helping. In our worship petroleum, so there's a tax component in a percentage. Even in 3 months, we are told that they've realized all the expected revenue, and I'm expecting in a year. They've managed to get it in 3 months. Whereby maybe side they better on 2 cedi, 0.1%, and then they do 10 cedis, 0.1%. You managed to raise all that money and exceeded in less than 3 months. So as a listening government, why do you still put the burden on your citizenry? So so let me reduce it here so that all other components will go down, because most of workers now imagine so bit or age more tema. Now say or 1,500 cedi. The transportation crowd for the month of 400. Sisiano by doubling it, tripling, I call a 750 and I say 800. He should still survive. All these things are affecting the whole thing. And I should say, Bosuo kind, I'm kofa goose scrap from Temadina de Bain, maybe your four container about quiet you 5,000 cities. He said, yeah, general 15,000 to bring the same goods, and it's affecting. So transportation has become a major factor. Sometimes limiting it to food alone that you are made to believe, which is true. I've seen videos about more techiman, not tomatoes or techiman. No, I can say there way a bucket full of a paint your baby a ton 40 cedis. Then the person will come to Agboglushi and also say wait to come and do a similar one. They tell you that this thing is selling for 150 or 200 cedis. The market women are making a lot of money, and they will tell you that transportation cost is the major one in all their deductions. So I think that if the government will listen, they should take it up as much as possible. COVID-19, and last time I heard President Biden talking about it, that in the midst of COVID, transportation companies, even in shipping from China to US, the same water, the same fuel, but they've managed to triple and quadruple their prices, because they know very well that this is a moment you're watching and internal production is not going on, so you need to solicit from elsewhere, and that is what is really happening in Ghana situation too. So if the government will listen, where it can be, I've listened to Okujeto Blocker, I've listened to John Ajinakpo, I've listened to Honorable Kennedy Kobina J. Japan, and other seasoned experts talking about the fact that fuel, it's diesel, especially diesel now, it has become major in our discussions. Now, world price markets in Krankoya, because of dollar inflation now, it's become an albatross around the necks of most of Ghanaians. So, as a government today, anything you can do within your power and limits to take that components down or bring it to nearly zilch will go a long way to help. So, I agree with him perfectly on that score. That we are talking about in the midst of all these problems, all the Ghanaians are asking for is a bit of relief for food to go down. So for some basic things that they use, and all these things are emanating from the fact that if you do a proper research and a survey, you go to town, that's a Wubisa, Kalusha, a lot of them will tell you that Nyamani Dian can get problem, but you see, transporting a real mopa, transporting a real mopa, and it is true. Because invariably, around 2016, fuel was just around. A gallon was selling as of 2nd December. There's this way, and this was it was 14 cedis. But we call my John Liner as of 2nd December, no, now 18 cedis, 50 pesos was said. So let's deal with that figure. That at least fuel got to almost 18 cedis before Mahama left office, which you can't run away from. You can type how much was fuel, a gallon of fuel in Ghana in December 2016 when Mama was in office. I mean, you can do this basic research now. But to think that a gallon was selling even around 20 cedis, and to know that 6 years later, a liter is almost 20 cedis. We are talking about a car liter now, a ice water, sachet rubber, 20 cedis. For the price of fuel. So virtually in Chelsea are quitting too much. A gallon at 18 cedis, now a liter at 20 cedis. So you can just imagine how things have really moved. Things have been prices are cost through 5 times in terms of the transportation component, and it's very, very significant in all discussions. Because you can't just carry the things on your head from one point to the other. So Kumasi krane butter kradia. It's expensive. You know, fish you say more often than not if you take kradia the Kumasi. Shaman or near environments, most of the women then they prefer to send them to Kumasi because it will ready and available market, because they don't have some in those vicinities. wo come better sisi anti inadvertently po fish is cheaper in Kumasi than Takoradi. I mean, when I was in Kumasi, I always had problems with it, but the market women won't listen. Or the do on the man, don't come here, Yajiska. But imagine, those are not for 207 basis CB. Said that time, not Joe be a basket, or Joe, 100 cedis. Now he will take 500 cedis for the same basket. It gets to Kumasi. 500, so the woman will put it on. So virtually, no, the humble consumer sitting at home, and it will affect the person. So if you're able to touch fuel alone, and do it, and I say, see a economic collapse in the idea. Then it comes to where Opo also came in. That the wastage in the system. Sometimes you should talk about it. A lot of presidential staffers, ministers, and look, me take right here, see baby crowd 4 ministers in the idea. 4 ministers.
Quickly on this Japan said quickly, you may member opposed. Say, so or two for on this one. Abema Bibia San Ghana. Also, ne General, Sayuana.
I think the discussions we need a Kwabnabekai. It's not new to something we've been doing. I think it's last week, right now, Jenapo, I called Joya. No, they rather even called for a press conference when the minority pressed on the president to reduce prices on fuel. Say, okay, say, Abino expected profit within 3 months, no more than 3 billion. Ministry of Finance report, and the security buy expected profit no more exceed no more than $800 million. It is a ocean in now, and I was sustainability. What friends say? No, sir. Yeah, price sustainability levy.
Price stabilization.
Stability levy. And no, what it does, they say petrol ne bo kosora. Ye abanji sa tax ne dabia o. Ye teto ho say nka bo ne kosora. Na ye de absorb said ye beya. The shock that the ordinary Ghanaian is supposed to receive no nka betis Friday. Amano intibon say top petrol no 5 cedis. We are already paying that stability levy no on. Inti say and to move from the world market ne ba. Na SSC koto petrol no 7 cedis, 9 cedis. Na ya maintaining or 5 by using sasika na ya day. Ya titi atu ho no. So ya titi atu na nka dey. But the point is sasika na ya titi atu ho no. Yede. I remember Nanado ne Baumia criticizing Mahama say the purpose of Sal levy is overdue because na yedeka yatete any egusu ete and there are so many levies on the fuel. And according to ranking member of energy in parliament, any report and yes speculation, Amayehu say Bino making more money even during COVID times because of the increment. Why can't we subsidize and help our own people? This is a common sense. Also, I'm not going say I never be a common sense laws. Because governance.
They say Manicho. One day, I be for Asia for Saudi Arabia for money Gulf for no. Quite more fast to petroleum. Money benefited. More population, and
you don't need to even do Saudi Arabia. The thing is, two petrol from Ghana say refine my.
That's right.
And I think it was Manucho who was saying they said you buy for no. As the oil be a nam or mutana mudia, it's measured. It's measured. Yeah, it's a more advanced. What do you compare? Mark? No, I get your point, but the point is
benefit population. Okay.
Enyira utra enra kwabena kwa betena ha enye kwabena kra ye fa kwabena Japan de nche ba umia eko Dubai ena obeka kire say okoye sika gold ye da o minus and ye si gold nko a Ghana de abesna ko ho e saying 7 billion but in our books 2 billion
5 billion on account
2 billion and now I recorded in Chombe follow up on that to find $5 billion worth of gold and I found that the table call. Ask yourself, investigations now because saying. So they and then make say your problems na Ghana you want. And I totally unfortunately said I have to go for a meeting. I mean to me absent me home. So mekwaba. But important say Ghana who say ye yare no ano aduro ni America ano aduro ni UK ano aduro ni Germany ano aduro ni Ghana wa the wastages in the system Manucho just touched on kwabra kasa ho say see okay Haruna Idrisu reduce the size of your government. Haruna Idrisu tells Akufo-Addo. The point is aban na ubu no and can also far 131 was saying
yes
of 130 near kind of bufu you know the one ka ho and 131 o catch say he doesn't want to walk. He wants to run. O person solve many problems America so until no far ministers be sa so and I got for say okay.
That's good.
Says I know what can the Manucho Class sat here and says, well, if that's what the president is saying, let's give him that benefit of the doubt. Now, you say, American into a person to into offer ministers be bribino, Ebeye Juma, but Americana offer 131. Nkai crowlate is actually dear crown and canvas also. It's almost Americana now person to Anya Juma. It's Americana Anya Juma, then I saw ye. And Kwabena made a very significant point. Maybe another Wajuan Kosun can look pick by or see. Constitution is a cabinet of 19 ministers. It is a 19 ministers now. Only manageable because the number is small. Into efficiency better. But now between manage 100 say was 100 and
120.
120 ministers. Oh, it's Kalusha. It's 1
million population.
Oh, mami, onen quality fee. Mami onen quality fee. Papa onen quality fee. Osi ahochiraba. Mema mintumi nya aduane mamo na wo mama wakoto fried rice jollof na wudi chicken great chicken Gold Coast DB na wo we no ka chen kwala ne say oh they say the name mo edin nti monto mobo does it work? It is all who say ahochira ba and oman ne so a leadership cabinet did talk about leadership by what example me na nado na me sin ka be betu me kantena before ministers be me hu so man mu ayeden iti me man for me sramo me hyase mo me ministers 120 mateso about 60 but the emphasis about 60 me twa ebiagu me president oh no last week no this week Monday or Tuesday President Mahama did talk about presidential staff so senior omuka total you know now is 500 500 BB. So say I could do 3.7 billion. Why? Presidential staff as in a good Jubilee House. Baby, I could do. So, presidential staff as in pay. It's to say, oh, no, Kwabena can say, Nuntinama or be a say, politician be a bar or be pay be a man Honen and Crawford. That's why I did mention of America. Almost say, think of what you can do for what? Your country, not what your country.
In reality,
the country even helps their citizens.
No, I mean, in reality, what Cobra is saying, reduction of petrol can change the economy of Ghana, right? Yes or no?
Nakaluwe, they say common sense. Well, you don't need a rocket scientist to come and tell you. Okay. Ghana petrol kosra, bibia kosro. Said the okay, body cry is in room na. Abre dada na yekutwa betono ye de ba na ato so se petrol boide e bi kura na ni direct correlation bia enso ye betu this is something another knows this is something teaser na no pa ubo yansa na start show no anti we say Mahama sa teaser no ka kire Mahama we say Mahama ka se oba amahiafo na neoma boide oba e kura na neoma boide akosoro me ba no ma beti petrol so oba e kura na petrol boide sometimes neoma we bi nti na obi kasa kura ya na Ghana for be sick and tired. They say politicians ebe sugar on kasa the dead natural, but then they can't do the work. Yeah, that's what Kofi says. Intina na do account you we then John Bodu comes MPP for share dey bano adwuma kra dey bo mamu dey we e be kwa Kofi ni pefra man no ma be adwuma na Ghanaians who kofa NABCO right by it's even collapsed now. Unim say NABCO no maguno. Yeah, maguno. So it's a Juma no way.
6 months in Chiomoka.
A Juma no way. The country is suffering. Only few people are enjoying.
That's a good initiative.
Oh, it's a thing, Sekalu. You rarely said it. Say reduce fuel pressure na wo minus no. Ebe conform. And yemamu to tum basa no. Ebe conform. And the government should have some mechanisms and machinizations in place. No Manucho ka say yin to me yes say obi kofana dia obechere no. But yeah what Guta Ghana Union Traders Association, dialogue with them, liaise with them. If you don't want your government to be unpopular, that's also be jai obi ana na waka say yogurt bo should be the same universally, because any say yogurt no wa Accra nkwa na aso akotamale na yakase transportation say farm milk company tia production or manufacturing firm and the bigger regions, so that distribution becomes easy.
And so when you reduce petroleum now, it reduces prices, it also reduces inflation. Now
what is inflation? What is inflation? Inflation, your prices going up. It is a price is back down. Your inflation is down. That's why America says, "See, I don't say men can say, I say, and no kwabnamiki. Ya na the America, almost say baby hiding. Me obi obeka say, and America crying. America hiding. CNA for pay first and no moje. And then McDonald's create McDonald's. It will $16 more be offered for fraud. First McDonald's be for $11, $10, $12, $20 maximum. Yeah. And then McDonald's high will be just $16 to start. Yeah. It is okay say and then we see baby it is true, prices have gone up. But sika uji wo house, so you be honest. Obi ejuma oye. Obi ano CN no oji 14, 16 and then CN for over $20. One jikuranya on 19 $18. Until the prices have gone as to meet the demand, any prices hike on the market. But Ghana no tisana, ask yourself, it is not like that. It is a casano baby, it is true, prices have gone up, things are not the same. But Ubakro ye part of this world now. The pay has also gone up.
Professor Hanke.
It is true. I think Nana should listen. In general, I'm not making point before I met or say 2 years now. Say Nana percent MPP are buying a break 8 until Songo the and to Mohameyano. Songo made a very valid point. Say Mumbreki 8 in here. How do we break the 8?
Count their quick.
How do we break the 8? You break the 8 by implementing policies to favor the people. Yeah. What I say, you break the 8 by implementing policies that will favor the people. What he said, and Rana Kwabneka said, governance is about the people. Implementing policies about nipa. And those were the promises Nanadu gave to the country. So in two break 8, no officer Ghana for Jimmy. You break the 8 by still letting Oforiata sit in office, whilst the whole country says we don't want him. You break the 8 of not reducing the petroleum prices, while your government is able to do that with the stability or whatever levy. So there are so many things they can do to help the country. They are not doing it. You break the 8 by allowing 50 billion Ghana cedis in the Auditor General report go scot-free, uninvestigated, unpunished, and then go chase 3 billion from IMF. Is that how you break the 8? You break the 8 by promising Ghana, say IMF. Did you listen to the audio you played this morning on Baumia when Mahama went to IMF? You go IMF will imply certain conditions. IMF will do this. But meanwhile, you are taking us to IMF. They say IMF that the finance minister promised Ghanaians he won't take us there. He's taking us there. The solutions are within the hands, and I'm shocked. Now initially, the benefit of the doubt to say be at the but for him to go and sit on that radio station that he did and say the echoes of Ghana biano, that's what you're privy to Onimbi echoes to biano. Because we say initially I say be a nipana echan hueshiano, emani huni echoes the reality on the ground. But for him to come out and say a banning chance, the echoes to be minim the echoes to biano, metina check a say, hey, Sananadwa. Or share your boss in the echoes to be an to me to reduce the plight of the ordinary children boy. Mammy or Tom board, dear, they are not now no idea. Or cofa board, dear, but transportation into or coba cry in the body and ento. You see, we were talking about food prices. Sometimes it's not about say, I do know, but it's a never boy a day. A cost into a bat was a name about Cosra, Obio Tijumbia, ne sales is day. Because the purchasing power no conform. What I say, so economics are the purchasing power, even though the supply is there, but the purchasing power is down. Oh, inti SSN Nanado, ye bibi bua Ghana for. SSN Nanado che Ghana for sufre. SSN Nanado go back. Sometimes encounter say na audios ya bobo wa ha no pay. On one kai bi. Now who say came for the people. I have to listen to the people. Governance is about the people. That is how you make the nation better. So if you don't do that, Kaluwa now can say social media ne identity. Can you now can some no for one and then they can Ote say Kwabena can say we have to be careful of what we say because something you say today you be defending it in 10 years.
10 years time.
So what you say? 10 years now we defend it. Oh, it's I think say very sad. Nana has things he can do. He can reduce the size of his government. He can. Ken must go. Adanin Tokwa Sisia Abambabe. I refer ad hoc committee. Why should we get to this level? Opane here Juma Magana for Ghana for se Papa Juma and so any MPs or more majority of us Papa Juma and so any Nana Sisano. It has become problem. Until I KK the question as they say imagine yako hono. Say a car Nanado e be of Foriata or dinner on coming because either than that if the who said Kalu say be ni hwa na Ghana for nyina e cry say yina di now so nyina dia now my man for Jenny say bibi ho e di nti na ntimi nyina di wona de adwuma no ma no osom ye Ghana for and for the first time wa MPs nyina say o ma kan bom say o mo mpe papa no yina di apart from the outcry from Ghanaians MPs so mo mpe no chinchi na osom mi nyina di why
okay,
some of the things I can't think far. Some of the things on say no the man for cancer bia to me because the also has psychology. So causation, nothing happens in a vacuum. You feel be correlation. So since you be share egu every bottle ma na bottle no to apai. And I say what shall na ohwegu and I say train kata so na oda na ehwegu bibia nsikwa bibia si for a reason. So it is a see in a not meaning there. Then people begin to find, reasons, causation. I didn't tell about one person be in a why. So causations and correlations. It I think that Kalu Nanado still has 2 years to reduce the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, not in 2 years, but now.
Okay, thank you so much. Noah Opoku Jemfina Motin and Kano. Me comment mani choma we rapping assembly now, but before then more for text messages we about men kind of very quick na fe me comment mani cho na afi emfa na djumadi na entwaso just start to say na kobra kobra je engineer kobra Japan Japan sensem ne kan ba na de na be because na me aba or say too many taxes on fuel and or say now we are crawling cry and family anyway mumfa too many mumfa no and fano we are crawling and fano or say it can drastically but would they listen to us? Yes. Or say things that don't have any direct correlation to fuel prices cry being increased. They spend that money, so they can't prove. They will be exposed. Osiskano ni na no oma and the discano nti omo pese ombe skano ho machi bia. Manicho.
Yes.
Wrap you up. Ekobeje na fe yenko energy media no na bibia ntimi koso Manicho.
Oh, I think yeah can say I mean fuel. I mean if the president really wants to see where I don't think just like Oppo say he's been the first to say it. You sat here to say it and almost our ranking members in the way sometimes people say that more opposition there they see better than when they are in government. And then no BBC Madam Fubisam is it the same Okuja Black who they were in power about 7 years ago. It looks like they now have so much ideas and how to make Ghana a better place than heaven. But I mean at the end of the day they are only preaching alternative this sources discussion. So fuel taxation and then I see Ghana for I a bit we're worried about and there are grants for people to be cheating people. There are grants for to be cheating people. I mean the government, the president, he needs to listen because people have documents to tell you that Masa what taxes now more what taxes taxes are expected revenue in be brave. So why will it why don't you see it as okay, you know what? Ghana won't it because in any case, just like Governor J. Japan said, a government and you are there to alleviate or ameliorate, improve the life of your citizenry. And then what about call mandate? It's not to give reasons, it's not to act irresponsibly by telling Ghanaians that you know why you are suffering because of COVID, because of Ukraine, because of way, and you'll be able to make But what are you doing as a government to make things better, alleviate poverty alleviation? Ghana cry na a major way leap near the end. But you say it looks like everybody in Ghana is working on crutches at this moment because everybody needs help economically. That's why I do have a pack of 4 way in Shawasisi. Sometimes they will tell you that we've built more schools, we've done more interchanges, we've done this. They all can ascribe themselves to, but one can say as a human being out one because truthfully Ghana you'll be an ocean. This 6 years are also no. So I know why there are people too, they made a lot of money. I mean, especially those close to the echelons of power. You could see their edifices now they are more here. Sometimes they even deny it for them near there. And the politicians, how much they are able to amass wealth in 6 years, 7 years, no more. Sometimes you begin to ask yourself, reason why when one caller, Champon, I really enjoyed what he said to that. You can tell everybody, yes, is their intention. They've not seen bad moments. But in the able can't be man for 2 and answer ISM quite revolting. Look at a way Mediterranean, Sub-Saharan Africa, ya call for Senegal, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire for now. Emphasis more they call Italy in Europe. We Kalusha people die all the time. But they will tell you that the problems in Africa, death does not deter people. What you mean can't a young boy in Ghana, he said, no children, no need you know baby say Nadamfo be a nipa 1,000, nipa 100 neko away. Italy, truth is that only 10% get there. By the end of the day, 10%, you know, me Ghana, me say, Koma Sabano, we could do Italy, monitor pictures or do Facebook. Now me call catch him, me kwa me. I mean, it doesn't deter anybody because the pressure there, no. Omomuti Morocco, Tunisia, and Libya, they don't do those journeys. Because I'm crop or Ben or take a sanka, and I do crop to me for the dead of the night, so to me a why? Because there's some relative calm in this country. But yeah, then how much more? We be crying in a bar, pregnant women, 1 year day old kids. No more back on this, and I did stop it. But many the pressure that is pushing them, no, only God can tell. Sometimes it's not easy. It will be a make us say churches cry, it will be as much as they are extreme. And when I make us say be the Bible bread and over Kruma, UK now share the one Muslim, I'm not Africa, Diana. Yema miracles and sometimes it doesn't help, but almost no more boa macroni jina because miracle just as Sadio Man make him say we are believing in a miracle. It's God can change the situation there. That is how the African will go. No American will take somebody to a World Cup now because say so. Sticking back to the script, I think fuel has become major. Reduce the size of your government. Reduce the taxes on fuel. Do things that will make your agriculture. I mean, you have some day now. Say a cry your arable lands, but still you imported tomatoes. You imported we are say Russia, Ukraine, America, watching. You be doing the anaya so you didn't. Why won't feature crowd? What dance so crown? These are bets. No money I did to me they drop in school go on but tomatoes if you dance when you did not do it yourself. All these things happen, but still you succumb. Why should it be so? Okay, I can't show it all this. All right. Thank you so much, Manichu. Manichu, where we are, call say somewhere Brian Boabin. On that 7 I say edit a Twitter. Bob Bassi, Nana 7 no tweets no. Men can be briefly enough. Young Koswasi, even Julian Asadi. Sweden don't cover their faces. The citizens are awake. This enterprise of blackmail and destroying people, hiding under the facade of fighting corruption, won't work this time around. At Anas Global and its mafias are more corrupt than the word itself. Presidential suffer and Anas Ebe Premier economy economy and Galamsey country. And now what started a true jobs. Do you think, sir, what this guy is saying, do you see any item of truth in it, sir? Or cover this a blackmail destroying people. Now, then also a Galamsey and Koso. And destroy a land. And see, they men now win for the touchy. I mean, what is your take on this issue? Sir, a premier and crime as well. What's 32 jobs? What is your take on this particular issue? Yeah, Samuel Brian Babia Samuel. I mean, Samuel Brian Boabin. I mean, a presidential staffer. You see, one of the easiest way to discredit a messenger, a message is to discredit a messenger. I mean, it's as easy as that. Ade na eba no. Let's discredit the messenger until the background say or substance crap and I say anyway.
Yes, sir.
I remember they be Amekasa Asim with Akufo-Addo came to Akroma Plaza in Takrady during the presidential debate and was asked that how will you fight corruption in Ghana? And he said that one of the means he will use is the ANAS principle. President Otiswene, he said he would use the ANAS principle to fight corruption because it's one gray area. So if you don't bait the person to know that the background or potential to take it out, it's very difficult to catch the person because two consenting adults, just like I always say, enter a room and decide to go and negotiate. You go to court, you dear semamo when we but while you say they don't deserve it. How will you know that you bribe and answer your way? One of the ways is to test the person. So one jar is generated. They come ask them say, Anas, maybe he only brings up those who fell victims, but I believe some people also stood firm and they didn't fall. So for him to really start this one, I don't think it is wrong. I've always maintained, and I keep saying, when I spoke to Anas, they make a chair and say, when you are doing some of these espionages, not say and you control that, it's room for blackmail. Because say FBI for there's your boss, not say Manicho. You've been put on this assignment. You've heard that there's going to be a cocaine bus from Mexico coming to Alaska. Say, and this. It won't say at any point in time you report to your superiors. They sit in a boardroom to make decisions. Into Obianim the position in this, but with Tiger PID and I say he's a private man and he decides who to. You know, I'm waiting for a sec that you can, Kalisha, you can go and contract them and pay them to do investigations for you. Whenever you're cracked, if you now don't trust your wife in idea, their mom, they will be able to track and tell you how your wife spends a full day in idea because they are a private company. Where I personally also believe that it's these rooms for blackmail. It's a recipe for blackmail. Because if I'm able to get all the concrete filler, now or can say, Manicho, you know what? We have this information. Your wife told us to do it. Me the more wife will be jail. Buying your bokani into my $100 million. I mean, why wouldn't some people bulge? And just like we've heard Kwekubako also saying that they are private institutions and they decide what to show and what not to show because they've been a more musical someone yet. So those things are there, but a big but. Timing is always important for me. What does Samuel Brian Boabin has to fear in this premiere in Intina? I'm sure this thing came out because Intina Wenaban maybe held these ideas long ago. But the point here is that of a premier Galamsey economy, we want to see Yinya Yatiten Sem Obi cry. Sometimes there's shifts of blame. I enforce politicians Nema Galamsey no Koso because they are powerless when they bring documents from Accra from Minerals Commission. Now minister assigned said they've been the mineral belongs to the government, the land belongs to the chief, but our constitution put the political leaders above the chiefs. The chiefs has no place in our political system. In principle, I don't think they've been given some major role. There's recognition, but they almost any legal or serious way in that sense. Because even like I say, chiefs, sometimes. Some are from little villages. There's no money near there, so they are it opens doors for corruption. Or we cannot come more muska say another way for discussion on any given day. So the principle, the point here is that Anas is going to premiere a video for all us to watch that, and some of your doubts will be cleared. Say Galam say no kura no wamune techri, wamune ye. Who are those benefiting? Wamune benefiting from it. You come up with some of these long essays. As much as in principle I agree with you, it hasn't changed the substance that will be aired tomorrow. When I watched the one with Charles Bosuo, I sat back to say that I was not so convinced because Charles Bosuo did not look like somebody who was aggressive in wanting money. He felt like helping you, woman be obeje. But at the end of the day, let's always do the right thing. I told him this. When you went there, you told him that maybe your documents have been dead for 2 years. It seems that we knew our idea. Oh, go here, go this person, see this person. We not see emphasize way more. I did not see the elements very well. Unless you want to sit down that you know what, I don't have a company, but me nyash concession, me who say gold will baby tank. I'm so boy, I'm na document, fictitious document. Be na me to me the that is when you can hold somebody up. I mean, it's my personal view. People might say that helping fast track something there because Galamsey it's illegal, but your small scale mining in Ghana, people have license to do mining in Ghana. Baby no ni nyina ba from ti ehu ne small scale ne galamsey because we best say idea excavators is very small scale
who say nka no nka so investigate journalism nka it's not nka onko tebe bi kra na nka onya the clips no na nka the operators no omo yes ayi no nka they don't even see him but this one I say or no mo koy interaction na I say or bribe bi ni mo kra no yeah those kind of stuff mob ska na o dey ayi no unu say say anything ama or can say a blackmail na you know because I said the methods now or this investigation more room for people to say I don't need genuine.
Say it's true and not true. I quite say your Manasseh kind of investigation or no Manasseh in the fourth saga near he goes to what has happened in the past. No, I could investigate. He said there were some wrongs in the Abba. Say I mean there was a fraud. The man was given a contract to build a wall in Burkina Faso, Ghana embassy. We no chair Jomama Ford as a contractor near the end, and he felt that this thing could influence. Now, my mama must say, "Oh, the presidential fleet near there," but because why do you take a Ford from a contractor? It's a way, and but even Anas himself, he has other investigations. He disguised himself to go and take videos, and so on. Okay. Just asylum down there, or mental hospital. Me one pandemic I don't know. He has one to about the mental hospital. Or albinos there been so or Kenya near there. We omukun where alongside albinos we
sacrifice.
Exactly. He has some of these videos too in there. But the truth here is that subterfuge, espionage, near there is also part of journalism.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to believe manicho pemba you bet your baby beating so for is oh your way will be a referee or the games yes or Jessica you think if I go and tell him that Arsenal will say boy when I've heard that you are going to be the center man and we are ready to give you $1 million because say you it's also not part of journalism. That's right. That is the method people also say that is done.
Okay.
Because it's sometimes not easy to catch people with a camera.
All right.
Because they say sometimes they are not smart. Maybe nam way put me do baby. Na me ejuma way no. Kalusha, you can't call me somewhere and say that manchu me won say boy chinti decide way na say. No. You can go and meet obi a minim no nim so be me trust no. Obetumi na ko negotiate. And so on no beji scan at the end me ba me ka asem na wo pe no asem ya na manuchu came but you never gave me money obejan bi aka so ma miska woko internet people use Goro boys woko DVL am Goro boys woko this say so pe license abeka cho say o ma me 3-4,000 me yi license e piama o me kwa brochi ya ma ti say USC ano obetumpo drive wo do ono mo na say we illegal crowd betumi drive say nti me hia license me fly ochina Kalusha, I can convince you that you'll be within 2 days of any license amount. But what will happen is that penny not one, we don't send a signature or so pass or no sign here, but one fiscal man. At the end of the day, say license ne piaba, you job 4,000 there. But can you go and say that principal Tete say take pen or Jimisika? You can't say it. No. You can't say it's corrupt.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, you never gave him money. He doesn't even know you. But the boy in AJ, 4,000 money, someone saying 4,000, put in the drawer. I sign all the amount. License number, we're genuine. Me home there. It's some madam for there. Say. You get me? So it's sometimes very difficult to catch those people. So sometimes you have to bait them.
Right.
You see, subterfuge. Make sure say that's one way to do it. But say galam say there yeki. That's a way minister. That's biaba. Say War Minerals Commission. No biaba honum say when you say gold we was samurai boy into episode kochu. Ni say we go Chinese for be almost say they want to the machines na there baba na say couple would you tum ye share moving pick me say come on or $1 million na say twa na you think it's wrong. No, in principle let's have a discussion. You think it's wrong say yet you may Minerals Commission penin work with show moving pick na waje $500,000 say give gunu car boot no to car no na we are filming no or we say it's not right, you should have caught him in the act. Sometimes it's very difficult to catch them. But we have principles now. When him say, "I dare now what you are Chinese for." No matter what you say, galam say. That's why sometimes, where I think that, and that's where sometimes is questionable is that, or you edited on your raw footage. So there's a problem because sometimes kofo tu ne din komo na nsem ne din komo ba ebi ametie ya na maka chus wonim se opo onye kra na wo akeka say man chu so hu za de no big no akasa then I record you then I take my voice off then I will show it no matter what your possession Kalusha can. That is why people feel that it's not fair. Open here, give us the raw footage. Let's all make our judgment because ube here they na check court of outside na check court of public opinion. So open say experts na sha where I agree with you to some point that so open say experts judge for tape no come appropriate authorities no mon share no mon take decision. But why you say no me be check Ghana for me Jessica Organizational Theatre Elchina 13, 12 and 13 ukoji musika ako premier jiska. So those are some of the things. Thank you very much. So those are some of the things I agree in principle that in the video near idea way no because I will always love to have the raw data because it's very important in some of these things. But chemi Kalusha can hear the book why subtitle what they watch on the brofugu I say kama sometimes cry as no come Edebia lumba onyumbi mete shati party enya meden and obi ka so shout about it shout about it it might be true it might be a lie but it makes sense to me so I'm trying to tell you that subtitle no sometimes it's lost in translation because we you should record the show it has no be saying prakron kan cry antini ye kra no watch us say na prakron kan so all these things can be looked at that Nejumano is also subject for review and discussions. But I will not run away from I'm not against the fact that I didn't want ya one yet. Yenye nipa there, but don't be swayed by money. So to a Kalisho be aba say unim manicho mpese me kicking out me ye bibi ye man fan kan nya accident na che say na wa jatum Kalisha wa jatum so no problem me share friend sombra na oba nti member obefa 219 so na cross yeah now you record what I was no but why did the person come to you to tell you that me person me kuma ni answer no if we are principal no way you don't have to fall. That's right. There's always a school of thoughts like that. All right. We are agmanicha saying okay Ghana ni biabe fall yes Ghana ni biabe fall Ghana ni biabe corrupt. That's right. You see so it's a dicey one that this method might not just be the best but Munya it is helping us to know that Galamsey referees we need some truth. We need some truth. That's right. And some of these things should bring up. Say, ineffective. Just like the president said, I'm taking 126 ministers. You criticize or say, I want to run. We all accepted then. I came to defend him. That we've given him the mandate because we believe we can make Ghana a better place. 6 years down the line, I'm here condemning it because it didn't work. That's right. So that's how I want to see this one. I want to have a chance to watch Galamsey economy. You say something trivial and not substantial. You throw it away just like we've thrown other stories away. Okay. One thing Anas does is that, which is I think it's a plus for him, is that after showing it, he will still go on to try to get a prosecution or law background. And yes, say after video, no, then what else? Well, no better court. Say court in Jawa because we know to mean jailu. But the evidence is no. The see nyama judge at nas and why discuss it, which I think. So far it has worked. Says Sisiano, what cause some institutions be crown man? They are afraid. We call Ghana now, we know be a dealer. That's so or you be a drink chain, that's a principle that no me yet. Last time you are nas and Jokra now we are nas so baby away. We knew what was happening in Ghana. So we could be not ye deal yeah. Hey, we careful. Anas no be a no. It be crown no why no small boy abejan say or enjoy your money. So I think it is helping in a way, but it needs to be streamlined. It needs to go through proper sieving. But amongst us, a private person, there's a recipe for blackmail. I wouldn't run away from that too. Okay, thank you so much. Manichu, I'm saying I'm Candy story, 2 stories, boom. Ken must go, no. And the speaker ne Mutaka, a batter no rebata. Yeah. Now young can you more nafi, young queen and say other ones, no. You bet me I'm saying like the import of Ken must go. I'm saying Ken must go. MPs stage a rebellion to shoot Baumia Akufo-Addo at forcing. But then since some okay can I say I say if no pay double standard majority 80 members now mo say 80 members now say we pay double standard. That's all on person mo shade young. But me so from the other year Martin say nanka a minority and majority no now concession say and can remove Ken no good.
but minority phones are cause ken enko because we sika e wa ben enti ho no na as a majority phone and if e phone no enya adwene say papa no so onko a wo proof bi say we sika na what I say enti na say am majority phone no emfa mo hunhim na fe oba muntaka na ayi na there me ye wo parliament edida no I say Ghana there's some new breed of politics and democracy is growing because go back say more or less Babin NDC and or hono by the no stamina authority on minority
Osebonsu
don't muntaka no as on majority chief whip kasa about issues na no more kan ama out of that come or no me adult committee of 8 say omo is approve now almost substitute no man me this simple say is you think say 80 no they come back to shield ba me na Akufo-Addo you continue say ken kwa no be shield no na mutaka esu ne notifications and I say rebata no do you think say there is trying to bring some new breeds of democracy in our this thing because here's the case majority for I say omumpe the finance minister of which I'm for debate say I mean they say Ghana democracy we are growing better then that's the no see your parliament no and to first I know more the boomer. What is your take on these particular two issues now? You
see, personally, I'm like the Catholic Church. I know is there accept changes. You know, 200 years ago, you say, your fathers and Catholic fathers, don't worry. But you've not been convinced why we should still marry. Yeah, it tells you that a lot, it should take, maybe one day they will allow us to marry. I'm a disappointed Catholic priest. Personally, my dad wanted me to be, but at the age of 21, I realized I couldn't. I mean, even the site alone, yeah, I mean, you can imagine. Yeah, so back to your question. You see, I said that because it looks like we are really enjoying a charade. I mean, say people are not principled, and people have diabolical mischief near there, and going into this one. Ghana no, once I say Anka, the ATMPs who march to say that the way the economy is going, they also live in the system, they also buy fuel, they also do this, you know, and the dollar rate near there, no, they think that the Ken Oforiata. Adwinesi, it might be very good as an investment banker and has done well in private practice now there. But being a finance minister, maybe the back does not stop at his doorstep. He could wake up anytime and he could make major decisions near the radical decisions to make it work for him. But when I say a country you are governing, until you take orders and you still try to use your acumen to really get results into and fact into honorably leave the seat for another person to take over. Going does not mean you failed near there. So the 80 of them thought deep. I believe they had series of meetings and they knew what they were doing because it was a novelty that wow members, Chrome appointancy, while majority for no Senate and I say Beka say GOP and I say Democrats and Beka say pay we near the intensity. So people felt that wow. Then the thing it is reaching everyone. It go reach everyone. So it is reaching them. Yes. Until that is why they really stick that one. And I think that is where NDC also felt that, you know what, you could capitalize. You have about 136 or 137 MPs. You need 2 tests to remove this man. Until say to me 80 and I say 50 crab you can stage a palace coup and a parliamentary coup. So that's what you want. They will take advantage of that to really get that thing. Which is also, I say, politics is like a game of chess. You really play to your strength and advantage, because ultimately it's to seize the power from the MPP. So you should start from you saying that maybe they put a bogus finance minister for 6 years to stagnate us. You are stagnating for 6 years near there. So that's what they want to do. And inadvertently, it had to take courageous men to really kick him out of the place because they have an incompetent president who could not really hold his own against. So they also went for that school of thought near there. Baby, I think both sides also erred in a way with my little small mind. Pardon me, but then I think I might be totally wrong. You see, the majority for now for censure of for Foriata to be removed. You know, I think how much consultation did they do with those 80 people? Because it's equally important.
That's right.
That if you are going to outstage a man and about 80 of them have said they don't like him and they will not do business, it's time you'd rather go to your enemy. Your enemy's enemy can only be your friend. Technically, if my enemy's enemy is also your enemy, then we don't even know what you're about, because you have to join forces to fight a common enemy, permanent interest, but we might not be friends. I'm thinking that they did not have enough consultation with it. They will not even push it, because if you want something to be done, which is very a tough one, if it's a tough one to be done, you need that one. I think your call is in the next 5-10 minutes. I have to leave the stage. Now, I think enough consultation did not go on there, in my humble opinion, because some year and come say you might not even push it because you move say more half. Until we hear about 60% there, you need a chosen 20 or 30 from that camp to help you this one. Now, 18 and so on, they've shown that they are men with little balls, because you were emphatic. You stood on platforms to say that man because he's not doing well. Then you go and you are giving some flimsy excuses like the man should read the budget and negotiate with IMF before he leaves the scene. And I saw the letter by Justin Kodia, the new General Secretary of MPP, talking about the fact that he feels MPP and this 4 year mischief because Setekpe, a similar one was tried on Setekpe, and NDC did not bulge in identity. He doesn't want the city should bulge. You see, you should be a person of conscience and principle. We are part of the majority members now. Would you say, baby, I think assembly do no, and it might even affect the fortunes of MPP. You stand your grounds. That's 40, 30 or 80 people who could have caused the bigger change Ghana needs eventually to be a liberated country. Because at the end of the day, people would have seen them as heroes and men of principle. Because say dollar na siye kusi na sem adene nko yi a na wo kwana man ka cho say mani ye we then you come back to the discussion now so both equally like a lizard. Then what are you talking about? I'm also disappointed in them. It's as good as not to maybe they stage that cameo for them to hear their voices. And interestingly, all the monies owed them no no magic say but it was our money and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you said that we've taken all our entitlements, but it doesn't change our stance that the man is incompetent and he needs to leave. So I think that is a quagmire. It's really a mixed bag. That for NDC, they just wanted to take a shrewd advantage on confused people and take advantage of them to score political points. For MPP, they know in principle that but for political reasons, until they don't also want to hold it in. Now, Muntakane Babin there. I think that for me, Babin might not just be your perfect man, and also is there by providence. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not sure he knew could win because that's a simple majority. How can we have majority in parliament and still lose the win because there was mutiny? 1 or 2 people decided to really have an independent mind, and because maybe the ballot was in, maybe parliament should introduce all ballots should be a secret ballot. Say yes, sir. Won't say whip snap him. Say you should be whipping line, triple whip. Say 1 year and the MPP be you with him, ye be you with parliament because you are no more supported by your party. That threat, that untoward threat, say fear politics. I think those are some. Are there may say at the end of the day, say constituents are electing me. Manichu say lembele me yomu MPA. Now we MPP no buy and quantity. They would want to say, I didn't hear crapper. Yeah, as a party, yeah, into 1 year. Yeah, I mean, why are you living in a paradise of our own? I think all these things, see, a policies in Libya, we need to grow out of that.
That's right.
Joe Manchin sits in West Virginia, and he has an independent mind. At the end of the day, it's a Democrat, but so yeah, the NAC is not convinced that he will not be part. The whole next year politics they do. Okay. Can't say there will be a whip. Now, Munta Council, at the end of the day, which other way to go about it? Even because I read or said Chairman Sabonso also feels that Yenyado committee, when it came to Wade Enimpo, Safo, Adjust Safo Dienina. So this a man, you can't fault. He sits in the chair, said, do let's use this means. And in any turn, we have somebody, he's been a practicing lawyer for a long time. He a parliament chamber on cry one. He's one of the doyens. He's been there from way Adam's time. Only do a Jahomuna no motete one from day one. So at least they might not always be right. But do baby, there's standing orders, there's common sense to it and everything. I feel the typical politicians want his wishes met all the time. His whims and caprices met. But he's also meant to be a Debian Casa to me a judge. I can only be a bully lawyer. What's the crowd? I said, Mr. Shabby, Binam Kana the mouth. And I met me, but me say, me dear Samedia, a bear everybody makes sense to me. All right. As some more cabons will be a dear to assume, Obiadian Sunyansa, to me that judge. That's right. A bear medimpa, but men choose to say, Kalisha Kumbi, but Yanko Kana Yanjana, dear Media Mebwapa, dear Media Samakacho. Yeah, that's it. So in principle, I think it's good for our way, no, but the show of power and the boisterous nature and arrogance in Adiana is seeping through. No? It makes me feel like it's a charade. Okay. I'm not seeing the way clearly with that parliament, and they are gradually losing their own grounds. Oh, okay. Obama judiciary and Ukraine have to do their own job, and that's what they should prevent. All right. Thank you so much, man. Manicho, it's here for a back from a moment, another 10 minutes now. About 12:40 now. I'm on my bum. Now, 35. Yeah, 35. Now, I mean, another interesting from Osofu Chabosum, no, Casibia, and it's very, very pioneering. But I mean, you know, some kind comments about Facebook. Na fe men come Manicho na fe mamo kwakwanya na muso mon chema jinwo jumedi nisun. Scott South fellows, Ghana problem have been exacerbated by only one person, Anado. Its only purpose to advances Ochiman and KB Dankwa status. He gives a damn about ordinary Ghanaian. The guy never suffered like a typical Ghanaian. Yeah. How does he become our leader? I will hold my description of him because it does not sound good. He's pushing all his inefficiency on Keno Foreta, have lost hope in Ghana, and only a Scott Safu and a Dubai. And Stephen Owusu say, Opo, and I don't care. Look at his demeanor. And then they comment about. Yeah. Manicho, also for Chabosum. Or say, I did on your bumpire cry say, Ghana for IMF for now. Mama Manu Capre cry. I know as soon as a countryman so goes to their firm say, break it. You don't have to implement bad policy. Bad policy cannot allow you to break the 8. It's over to me yourself for Chabosum say, or say, my man can't be, I say I'm praying and fasting that Ghana will never get a dime or penny from the country because the amount, is not going to help to alleviate the hardship of Ghanaians. Manicho, one suffer Chabosum, hey, or see, I'm a Fukabe cry. I say, Sikano Congo Jabano. And yes, sure, say, Ghanaians no more watch your mono. Obi kra benya kapra na se tekubum. Yeah. One anyway adwene. Now between the country man so go there so aka crack one. 100%. I mean, I say this cannot to come and support the lavish, extravagant lifestyle of the government. I mean, that is all because there not be any austere measures to show that on Nankasane Nikoti no crown or Manachene Kakra. He's keeping everything. In that time, presidential flights in people started speaking. In the midst of COVID, near $150 at the airport. Says where did they go to? Yeah. In the Sisi Ghana Muntia $150 and people really went to Ghana during that time. People and Ebimkra the hotels. People were frustrated. People were maligned. People were next to put in prison for not paying $150. So virtually no. Now IMF, you called them 17 times and we still come back to zero. Somebody bailed us out, did a kinky party, and it's not taking us back. Sometimes when they sit there, it's just like having a very lazy brother who comes to take money from you. He goes out there to go and sleep with women, then he comes back all the time. Have fun and come back. Come back for more money. But also the money because you put some apron strings and you still you made him like a poodle. So you have a chain to his neck. Because that is the beauty of baby answer one man measures, stringent measures. Oh, see them person of people from Banuko school. Oh, that bra mayamo. Or baby ma person obey so mine with you. Oh, yeah, mayamo. He said there, when him say ye toilet in a choky, you see free to Bananka, and a baby swan wako to mayamo. That is how we are doing ourselves. Because when we get there, they will be giving us conditions. Yeah. And just about me, I said, I might not be an expert in economics, but Bawumia has a very beautiful way. You go to IMF, that is true. They will give you conditions, that is true, and you can't do this, that is true. He said all these things. So virtually,
if you're not facing the country, it will expose you.
That is true. I mean, he has a beautiful poem that I have to learn for one of my thesis. If I'm doing my doctorate some time in future, that's what I will use. So in principle, the government has not done anything to its own self. Something specific. Say what way you need be film na excess money na nka would be your mokano wo de akase medical your hospital na agenda 101 medical 10 agenda 101 hospitals people will begin to see that this is results that you see and yet so something direct usage. In the past you tell me that you reduce your salary by 30% and still you are suffering, nothing changes. There are no tangibles to hold on to. That is the typical Ghanaian situation. All talk shop. Obano Abeg reading beautiful scripts. I outro near a video near I edit mistakes. Nano kwan from ube to make a whole speech. President fellow Ghanaians for 10 minutes. I mean expert. There's no mistake in his reading. And I'm saying, wow, this is an expert communicator. Well rehearsed but it doesn't really reflect on the lifestyle of the people. You are forced. It was Muhammad trying to give his own version. Then you also audited one, and then it came Sikam Pedidi. I mean, you come up with these slogans, but we know very well from 2012, 2016, the things Bawumia together with Akufo-Addo they were doing on Twitter. And most speeches I can say in the all to mean that Ghana for mo chiromo ye nisika ye tiskaso ye mo chire. I mean, you such person. Yes, when you come and tell me, sometimes they expose themselves for people to use some printable words from them because it hurts. So one kasana wakasi atisi kauni ya chiri na because I'm a bunny. Nasa still 6 years on nipa no chiri na sikan waso efiso. And what about you? I mean, those are some of the things you ask yourself. So I couldn't agree with Chabo some better that 3 billion year question. We did the same thing with Yi-Levy. Say Yi-Levy was a panacea to all the problem solving in Ghana. We know you cry one erection, we know you don't know erection, Yi-Levy be one erection. No yada. That is the impression they gave us. And it was a totally failed project because Ghanaians told you that it's not the way out. In the midst of you don't impose more taxes. It's basic. Oslo I listened to some of the things she said before they came to power. I mean, sometimes you ask yourself, but Ghana for because a lot of people don't really think outside the box. They still blinded by coloration. No. That's right. But people are suffering. And Nipa Neseka, countryman Songo, I remember Charlotte say, oh, did not tempo because the savior government never. Sometimes you have to push it down their throats for them to know that you say democracy in here. The one thing I love too is that when things change, they come and say it. Reason why some people still respect them. That master breaking the 8 doesn't come with some of these things. Ghanaians are not foolish. That you sloganeer any idea, but because people are struggling. But what they need one say break the 8. How do you break the 8? By giving people better lifestyles. When they sit down here, you tell you that in 2012, nami yejuma, nami oko store. Me na enamni nya me kotugu ye but isi na buy no de enam we na box sells at 40 cities during Mohammed's time sisi ano de I call for just 45 in 6 years near there there's proper light. You do proper documentaries, people should give you proper evidence. Then it's not even about 8, you are talking about 16 28 years. But we I know say 4 years me 8 years away Nana feels that country Mansongo kaninya when 8 years away so that's why boisterous. So I saw disrespecting Ghanaians. I mean, that's the same as I'm the president. When people, that's why I like sometimes when the likes of Odike can say power still resides in the people. Uba Kroma say no. The governor even signed a document that he should go take into effect. People government can say no way. How dare you? Penny. The next thing is that let's take it back to the people to make a decision. Yes. But Ghana na quite say. Why should I reshuffle? Presidents feel that they are their kings. They should be worshipped. Ye be minister we Accra. say ye ko beti obi nti no ye mikro many nti ye be no vet nti say me ko town. They stoop so low-minded people. So at the end of the day, people take advantage of them. Onyanya minister ni wepe, hey, ye better okra me say when he not one, hey, nana say asebu kwa. Hey, only you feel me papa. Me kwa me na ni you say dey wona wote so ni ade. Until I'm big crap put a chair in a V8 and be driving around. I mean, you ask yourself that why should a country live in this moment? A third world country. If you ask because President Biden or beast no then anti or UK crowd or beast him because you have lifestyle to support. No, I can say even America says that think about what you do for a nation, what your nation will do for. But Chroma say they do a lot for the citizenry. I know people being forced to take EBT cards. What if you cry near the force so say not for 20 needy because we hear Juma. I can testify to some. Also one request it. On one of most system so here security needy. That is what we are talking about here. Na moti wonem ne de ahokyere na ne kura wokokun kura na wenwu a ye no be ko jail because we should suffer together. Yenya yembre kalusha wonnim na otwa say wu na wambre. Bakroma say no a mental health case. Why should somebody decide to kill himself? The same president went to sit on way Peace FM to talk about the Arab Spring, how it started because somebody felt a graduate no shame no sparky. We saw somebody at Kaswa for whatever reason. It's not been proven that he's mad. We have been told your driver mate, and out of frustration at the end, he went to step on the thing to die. What's one Muso or Jimmy for? That is not the way. The same people, they behave like me. Not to Makasaka, no, the dear tell me, and I'm supposed to use mental health in your papa. When I can be a Jimmy for now, I could why I show you. So the dear tell me, you think is the way to go. Because mentally, you also you are getting deranged. You have a derailment. Any idea? So people, it's a tough, complex system people are experiencing in Ghana, and leadership is not helping because the lifestyle. I'm even told their ministry have 4 ministers, about 3 deputy ministers. What are they doing over there in this torrential times?
Wastage.
You still want people to keep their jobs because they have to feed their families, but it will be not there. On bre. You do not know you been the no be. Kakra no sisi and yesi ohia no etata say Jova witness for mobile fee. Opa me pie, what would them call ohia betata because you still need to pay for prepaid.
That's right.
If you are not living in a system, okay, management me pie and I mean to make car. We prepaid and so na besan. We better sumu.
All right.
Near there. That is how complex and hurtful that people are feeling now. The heat is too much and government needs to really set up. Just like KA said, Company Japan said, you still have 2 years to change the situation. 1 week in politics is even enough time. But say there because regrettable. Utu will be 1,980,000 votes. Unya 67 majority. See, as slasher by simple. Power rejecting or decided say I'll do business with you. Your ex-wife, somebody you jilted badly, you sacked him from parliament. I remember Peter Lajeti sacking Professor Makokwe, sacking the guy that is no more a member of parliament because the party says they don't want to do. Or Nona, he became your savior eventually. You think it's easy going into the next one.
No.
Sometimes they need to set up. They need to be told.
All right. Maricho, thank you so much. I'm going to say that a chair for Mutamadu. So you can call us on 508 304 3994. 508 304 9394. Or Ghana, the Audi 001. And that's a plus 508 plus 1. Now 508 304 9394. Now, on a Kasantim. Such media, Dan Auto Repairs, Golden Gold Coast, yeah, Gold Coast for so you are saying Asamas, as you say, I sing and they did media Anochi Chrome restaurant, as you say, I sing Anochi trading, as you say, I sing a day the next segment in the Brom. And Tibacho, young Kwaman Suna, and the tea for new common fee, and trust. Hello, wow, no man, 3092 3909 Pachone do Subacho Manunko. Hello. Oh. Ina akati sorry Mpacho mun tu san frame. Hello. Ko poku. What's benka? Akoje poku. What you mean?
Bato mi ton kapa.
Bato ma onenko.
Na titu Great Osama ene Ajamra opo ba bibia kinkalu ba bibia omo bia Nyankopon enka omo no omo ban. Ta na ba bibia la emse opo na shine na bia Nyankopon enka no. Mi nya kalu ana mani to minim de me ya yin na emom no ya papa kafu chabosom. Again, Kwana, if you are maybe president, you can say, oh, Jeffrey Dana. Again, Tinama Makata, or be a Wabasa Oba president. Then there was a big nothing to catch as oh, vampire cado, you have not one say, you could join IMF. My neck up crying from a Bogana Oba. Maybe we say, it was not a Jumana or Yana Yanjin attack, Yanjin Shano, they are all Chabus Masoya. Oh, what translate catch a crown?
I'm not holding for Chabusum. Or say, Nansama can say, Scanning Periphone Cockwaje Crana, Etimamfono, and Suomusu, and to and Pio Bonnie say, Ghana Forums, I, you know, Momosenka. Now, of which a month will be, and then the Bay, I say, Scam Quaji, and Passe, Babuama, Ghana for which will be Beno on Aquafomana, and all comers.
Nanu, I don't know, can say, as can you insane unkind. Honestly, can you answer? Can you be a stern? I got a one year, and can you use a way of sofu? Talk with the old vampire, my woman. Another crowd knows that place over Baby Oma Penny. It was an empire and said, and you can I am a Tican bar. Oma Penny, Uncle Ponce, Omagina, another penny for no medium. All the Omagina can be detailed on the Bayamagana, up to my pipeline. Yeah, for them who know to us away. Oh, what comes where 1 2 as a crown 500 cities. ATM that is capable of original or Bosuo president. Another, I don't know if you forgot that any probably and soon probably any kata. I think we also any Kumasia, my family say, me, them, what to me. Acquire your first one house on cry to young there on the what near. Or the Nepal to another country, my son, Guatemala or Cano. And look at those NPP for, and some we are not going to break 8 now. This is Ghana. Ya wuto ya here ya komu nyina no ya timi fi meti wenu kwa no o ma enka bo se NPP for samata mon sai na bibi tiana mu dia tie na mon pesa mu babo krono ba no ta mo pesa mu break 8 ni dia ena mu nya bibi na nya sa dia Ghana next 2024 ni dia mi na kalu mi nya te to sama ene Ajamra ya ba ko ya ho adwen na nya ba bia dia ni betelo ya dia ni betelo na mo me last word. Some kind of me, I can't, ya ka. Now, November 30th, with the communication director, Sawan Shako. Not one place, I don't know my Ghana, and Fan Sadia, and you're not Ghana, and Kano, my mini Kalumuni,
Okay, but that's it. Pacho, wow, no mano, 2950. Patrona do Sumanko.
The great Osama Bakopa or Ghana.
Maniko.
The child knew about that and I mean, come on, Nema, Pamo, Boma, my conquer Ghana, and I mean, come in Namo.
Somebody do so.
I mean, Kano, Tadia Bear, Yamiadma, a Juada, then Bess Abakan, who I made a Digman prepared. O come as I'm to trade. Yeah, stop with troubles more. Opo, who can say where you the president? Also, president Kenny. Where is arguing where you the president? Tell them I'm in your Kodopoku Kano. But who cancel Kaka do 500 cities? Who suffer Kaka was some or do 500 cities? Not all bad president and I'll be Guinea Passay. What do you wear the president Kenny? Where you are the president, you didn't find president in New Ghana. Oh, Cata, oh, vampire, and now do Yamo tour, South Fast and I'm a Ghana and Sanka. Who was arguing where to me, so back Cathy. Oh, Anna, Menquadia, you so coming.
Where's the summer?
Yes.
Papa Nasimo Cano. Mamma did not know Siboni or say, the real Ghana from Pennyfono, ya Diano. Or yes, sure, say. Skadukwa na omuka so mokwa akwakwagino enyadia omokwakwagye bebo otima fono enti oni de nka ne mpaye nkwa de se enyadia size karo mu sanka of which untu en na so ne nyadwe so no ba kwagye okwakwoti e friend saying the well CG the collection into embasunana sana pachana you line no say imagine by to me enye ayo go so say you say betimi enya amanfo na omotumi contribute on the program this one you say me to connect grade of summer no otumi asamba line this one wasugu so awuti Unity Radio line no ma yi kakra ntuma no man koso yiti you say you besa sabe kan tie for yifo na omotumi abaso a na bibia tumi akonkan wasugu so awuti Unity Radio you say line no yi kakra you say amanfo besa frɛ na omache omagene tumi dijumedie no aba na wie eche edidumedie ni beba wie wasugu so awuti Unity Radio epacho line katie nti epacho manenko 30909 pacho manenko intentem suna yemre na yemre ko manenko
yo ya uria nana bua mani
nana manenko
yo ma me no ase na menchia wabija funya I'm not saying I'm not coastal fair and the America say do na okidana oku weekend no ampa say na wa ho adia also fuchira boso menchia onyonya for John Messiah Kwajo Sematin na so enu aso me ofa ne ba ho no menchia pam since you have the man no afi no mu yi omutipie e disagree am ofa no abekasa akono so die amanya bem pa se mo ofa so ba so ati say ko be Japan tabi obi amenchia na menchia ba show no so ti amenchia mo ofa na aso America say so fuchira boso amayi mu bi edi no ho ya papa say adia yesi teniti kanen ka abo ti so for me fankodio na sika o me bi aye pedi abano so nyame na ayi bibia che sika na ba ni pedi be we sa o musem kra bon pa na sa for na base kan manaka na nanu afro mo kotu omofo so ati ase me pa bo no so bi sika we ba no wa bo timu po se sika na ba o mane me yo mana sadie pe na ho chiri bia ni dia na sa ma fo me fro no mkutu fo seja se so adwombone na so ko na beba bi mu a na toju wara da
line so we try so imagine a phone calls na line no ntimi nko I don't know what's going on we try so imagine a phone calls na you know my problem and you go so say etia say amanfo betimi afre no macho otimi nka ma nko hello anabu ama otimi nka phone lines no what I saw image calls na more problems kakra enti enche ebe sorry jumedie ni so na afia kokofa peace news at 6 enche ebe fa ebe sorry jumedie so na kofa peace news at 6 p.m. oh Ghana one abo one wa medini King Kalusha megusu a twen say frefo be frɛ na nya one or two calls bia na afia di jumedie no abede wie ye line no and hyper hello pacho 3995 Bajumani ko
Kalusha pachande de mulai we ne hyper o ya yende ya crazy na sai
kafa bako rauswe manenko
yede nyame ase na ya bobo mwa baso na mpacho bebia opo bi aye chena nyinde ayi na yentinenka na yencha unia na onene ewo ho numa mo yem pense mama yetu ya bama yebekere ya yuni nyame nkamo nyame shiramo emse mainu hundontia na mo yana sa ntinya kupon kamo na nyame mamu kukodro na mamfambo adwuma no na nyame ne ene aboafo na mpacho ebi wo muno onto muno adide kwanso omo ogidie se ta brigade no ayagrodie no muka na say serious because Ghana sa brigade de omo dogum pele bi na omo ankaka mambo na ekoso sisi no anya mambo papa amombo na ekoso sisi ya ankasa no anya ade ebetima help Ghana fo anya ade ebetima dim faso bi ya bra Ghana fo ndi sa omo brigade de omo pe be dogo kura no omo pe be bi mfa kura obi anya na adwene So but talk about my MPP view. It is a way imagine say the Katasisura ever from a Mfama, almost a margin and I am na kitwa bi o ese sim the registration mewa
ai wanko
amusi da ba yamusi omo say Ghana ka na yambi say Ghana ka dan dey obi tise obi kuto 5 kanisika 5 million and say na onya Ghana ka no the Ghana ka no edoyemi
Maybe the almost your mama mama bebre say mo fan quality by 30th of this month no wow yeah no deactivate online and now to me any bibia anti by 15 more days some few days yeah 19 more days
bra Ghana ka do mamu ye kura mun san ka mu de o mamu ye kura na wo mun san ka e de no be da ai register sim card awu mun ne mu wo mu na jinsamu ena mu nani namne amun ma yan jira hu amun fitis ma ena no ma ni ye hu toy no mun jai tan san ne ma na kisim ka ne amun ja mun ji e ko ya bre mu ya ko bon ka wona nyam sho minia
yo meda wa CP meda wa sipa enche ya di djumedie no ebe na wie ye enche djumedie ni be na wie pa then your phone lines na ha kakra but then you expect say be nya 1 or 2 calls bi na fi ya di djumedie na be wie na yakọ Peace FM akofa news e Ghana enti pacho o Ghana be +1 508 304 9394 +508 304 9394 and now Worcester ha na so baby out here kan wo abrochima mia 508 304 9394 ba modern afre na so be che wagin because media no o dia wonti na ba wo fi mu so so be tie no a che agin cheche na betumi dia cheche o my Ghana na man Ghana na tumi afa ne ntuma pa efra na akọ bibia kama nti e ba betra na se ye kan bi na so one man from kan bia na to say I question ko no jan kwantia ye very sorry say the line no India moy now try say o ka nipa na bomu a na line kati nti pacho wa wo subia no bomodia na frɛ na weche wadwen na bibia ntumi nkoso enche kra no na edi dwumadi ni na abana wie enche kra na edi dwumadi ni na ba wie na pese obefrɛ and once again emfa na sekese ema da Dr. Kwabi scientific care omo domase se de bia omo so ya sin na omo boa ye na edi dwumadi no ko na wano Dan auto repairs o car no bibia ase bia no o de ba obetumi ahwe no asisi car no yama na bibia akoso kama o peduane papa na eduane ede so edia o call Gold Coast Restaurant on Blackstone River Street in so drive no obenya Gold Coast Restaurant na bibia etumi akoso na o peduane so papa bi ma se dia wetumi akọ Anochi Chrome Restaurant they say almost 2 places baako Park Avenue no so na baako so Melbury Street ho na okwa onso peduane papa edia which mean enya eduane papa edi Anochi Chrome Trading and Hamilton Street no and also open na papa weekendi nama opese odi weekend na bibia to because no obetumi akọ Anochi Trading na almost betumi abo no matwa nam kama dia ama na osuso onkwan mai hwam na afin ope bibia ope so de beye waduane de omo fresh fish se bibia akọ Anochi Trading obetumi enya bi na afin okọ Asamas Trading so a ano so sa nampa okọ kodutwa nam tise nam bia ope bia peso onkwan ehwam weekend ofa ho Asamas betumi aboa na bibia tumi akoso enche no ya di djumedie no ba na wia ne sa expect nke benya 1 or 2 calls bi ya hwe nim se call ni bi amba ya di djumedie no besia na da se no nyakopa ya duma Monday ya be san aba djumedie so ba ya ka tie fo se ocha awia no mienu ya be bomodin na ya ba ha na wake up yetumi e de abreti fo nti ochina bomodia ene yemba na say edra do wake up countdown to World Cup eba mo film na bibia etumi akonkan. All too soon the time I up nti ye be call Peace FM na ye kwakotie news. So mo di news eba na bibia tumi akoso wanu nti ye be dey tiefo ye mo amofre na eba ya na line katie no ye hye mo pa mo fa che na line no high kakra. Yankopon ya aduma so the yankwa chen Monday message say ba Anopa Bosuo me dey King Kalusha me na me di adwuma hu die hu chairman wote mabedwafo omo ba me nim di adwuma no ma de choba gandi magarita me pem ho asem Worcester Massachusetts ono so bai na no wa opoku jefi opo national ono de bia adwuma die odi hu chairman musofo King Kalusha ene me na me betre adwamu na me fa course and I say me host of the day once again no me da obi bia ase say wo do afidie tu a utie say utie Worcester Only radio station unity radio station 103.9 so utie say utie no di kasa na bibia course once again madam ase makram.
The greater the risk, the greater the reward. Or so the saying goes. But if you're a farmer like me, you'd much rather have your rewards without the risk. Well, thankfully, with True Choice, you can save up to 10% on hundreds of the leading crop protection products from Corteva Agri.